Guys, listen up. As you get older, the best way to continue to look young, exuberant, and vibrant is to continue to take care of your skin. That's why I'm excited to have Teej Hanley as a sponsor of today's video. You heard me talk about them before, and you're going to continue to hear me talk about them because I believe in their products and the positive impact that they have on every man's life. Teej Hanley makes taking care of your skin so easy. They provide you with all the products you need and nothing that you don't. Every box comes with an instruction card that tells you when to use each product, how much to use, and in what order. Lapeef family, I must admit, skincare wasn't always something I always focused on, but since I started using this system, I've seen improvements in the way my skin looks and feels. And you don't have to take my word for it. They have over 5,000 five-star reviews on their website from satisfied customers from around the world. I recommend you start with the level 1 system, which comes with all the basics: a daily face wash, an exfoliating scrub, an AM moisturizer, and a PM moisturizer. In addition to amazing skin, members of Teej Hanley get tons of benefits, including at least 20% off retail price, the ability to customize your box, pause or cancel at any time, and free US shipping. And because Teej Hanley is sponsoring today's video, they're offering my viewers a great deal. Just click that first link in the description and you'll get 30% off the first box plus the free gift. Seriously, that's an amazing deal. Even though it's too early, as I often say, it's never too late. Click that link and get started today. What's going on? What's going on, family? How y'all doing?
Yo, what's happening?
All right, let me introduce the crew, man. We got Rilla, Trill, Ricky, King Rio, Mr. Let Go, Shan, and me, myself, on Lapeef JR. Humble Dad will be in shortly. So if you guys see him pop in, just know that it was anticipated.
Yo.
All right. Y'all good?
Yes, sir.
Well, Shan, what you doing with that 1911 shirt on, man? Oh, man.
Yo,
you just probably capping. Nah, you probably capping. You ain't new. You ain't new.
It must be homecoming season. This must be homecoming.
I don't know what it is. But anyway, man, what's going on, family? Let me see who we got in the chat. Green Gang. Oh, Sir Hill. Already putting a super chat out there. $4.99. Appreciate you, sir, for that super chat to kind of kick it off. Green Gang, I see you guys in the chat. Shout out to you guys. Nobody. We got Jolie. I see Kelly's in the house as well. Sugar Curls. I see Ricky be in the chat early, man, getting them hyped up, man. Definitely appreciate that. Salute to the chat. Again, shout out to the sponsor, Teej Hanley. Philly Teej, 30% off along with a free gift. So make sure you guys click that link that's in the description. And let's go get the show started, man. It's been long overdue. It's like the show can get later and later, man. It's going to be a midnight show soon.
Yeah,
But so I've heard the time has been pretty well for a lot of folks. So we'll see. We ain't going to go past 9. I think 9
They are.
Yeah. Go ahead, sir.
Just real quick, man. Hey, family, listen, please. This is my favorite day of the week, man. And we want to have good conversation with the bros. We don't want to have to keep stopping the show. I know we will read the super chats and all that. We don't want to have to keep stopping the show to ask y'all to get the likes up, man. The likes are free. We don't ask for much. We appreciate all the contributions. We really do. We appreciate super chats, the cash apps, the PayPals, all of those things. But what we do on Tuesday, we have these conversations, man, and sometimes, you know what I'm saying, it gets contentious. We really trying to get this message out to the young bloods. We really trying to kick game, you know what I'm saying, to those that need it. And in order for y'all to further the message, please do your part. Like, share, subscribe. That's the only thing JR ain't gonna beg you for it. I'm gonna beg you for it. I'm gonna do the James Brown please. I'm gonna do all that for you, right? Just hit the like button, share and subscribe this whole. You understand what I'm saying? Please and thank you. We don't want to stop the show because this one I feel like it's gonna be a good one tonight, JR. Good thumbnail, bro.
I already knew you was gonna be your topic, Rilla. Once I said stepdads, I knew what time it was. I said this one right here for Rilla. Anyhow, let's get this show started, man. Again, if you haven't hit that like button, as Rilla stated before, just get it going, get out the way so we ain't got to keep announcing. I know it can be tiresome sometimes. Our first topic of the night. When it comes to dating, why don't men like being in competition with other men? Soon as a man finds out women has options, he bow out. Women are constantly competing with each other. So You guys see the statement from Latoya Hill. That's what she said. I see Ricky shaking his head already. Let's go ahead and talk about it. Why don't men like being in competition with other men?
Because we want to know who the baby daddy is. Next question.
That's real.
That's serious shit. Like, we want to know who the baby daddy is. Fuck you talking about? Like, women, y'all think like this? This is so stupid. Like, y'all really starting to irk my fucking nerves, bro. Like, bro, don't know. Like, the truth of the matter is a lot of dudes out here raising kids that believe they theirs and they not, bro. That these shows we watching, Maury and Paternity Court, are the percentage, those are infinitesimal. The percentage is way greater, bro. Don't nobody want to be sitting up here starting with you about who dicking you down and counting back days with you about who fuck who and when, bro. Nah, bro. We want to know that that's our kid. Next question.
All right. Go ahead, Trey.
Yeah, man, I think it's just because, you know, those men then figured out the game already. If you got to compete for a woman as a man, you already lost. I say it all the time. Like, women got two sets of rules. They got a set of rules for the guys that they like, and they got a set of rules for everybody else. So if you're competing for her, then you in that everybody else group, and you already lost already. So she'll never respect you, or she'll never feel privileged to be there with you, knowing that you just jumped through hoops and all kind of hurdles and shit to be with her. So I think, you know, men that refuse to compete understand that. Now at the end of the day, that's not saying that men are delusional enough to believe that an attractive woman is just only talking to us when we first meet her. That's just not realistic. But in terms of like making that man compete for you, you know, that right there speaks volumes as to your placements, as to your level of importance. Because fact is, for every man for every 10 dudes that's competing with her, is one that's just showing up, doing whatever you want to do and getting all those benefits anyway. So I think, you know, men that move like that understand that, you know, understand the game, and they refuse to play it, as Ricky always so eloquently touches on.
Let me say this. I can understand how women look at this and say, hey, like, I'm just out here trying to find somebody. Like, if I'm dating this guy and I'm dating you, like, it's kind of not fair. I'm trying over here, you know? And I can understand that. But we as men have an understanding that there are two groups of men that we would be competing with, and not one group. Is one group that, you know, are like us, other guys that are trying to date you, trying to take you out, stuff like that. Then there's another group, and I do say group possibly, probably one or two dudes that have been in your life for about 2 years on and off, and they coming through piping you down every now and then, and that is like literally your comfort zone. So if one of these dudes don't work out, or this dude don't piss you off, you're going to call your dude over there. He ain't got to buy nothing, pay for nothing, take you nowhere. He comes through, pipes you down, gets up and leave. And so there's a group of men that don't want you, but is piping you down every now and then, or on a normal basis. And then you got a group of dudes like us trying to take you out also. So it's kind of like, I'm not going through all that. Because if your phone just buzzing left and right, I want to be the dude that's piping you down just like these others. I don't want to be the cornball. I want to be the dude that's piping you down. So once I see certain, you know, sides of you where your attention is, oh yeah, I'm going out tonight. Oh, okay, cool. I'm still going to pursue you in a certain kind of way. But in my mind, I'm like, all right, I'm just going to smash, because I want to be in a come through, pipe you down whenever I want to club. Let the other dudes try to wife you up.
And you know what? Just to put a little more color on Mr. Let Go's painting there, I think that's the reality, because the game's not fair. You know, look, Mr. Let Go could be coming in, busting her down. She getting him top, and he's putting in little to no effort. There's just something about him that she likes and is attracted to, rather. And then you have this other gentleman who's putting in effort, being romantic, rubbing her feet, kissing her on the lips, writing her poetry. And he got to work hard just for her to give him an inch. You know what I mean? I mean, that's the reality. You know, and so why put yourself in that position for you to look like somebody going to win and somebody going to lose? That's one thing that you know for sure. So,
for real, here's the thing that I would say. Men understand that we always in competition with one another. We're always in competition. However, we don't want to be see what I think women want is what do they call that thing? Like in Rome, in ancient Rome, where they would just, be having these games and these fights and all this other stuff, and it's just
Like
a
gladiatorial games.
Gladiator. They want blood sport, right? They want you out there picketing and campaigning for them and da 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 da. Nah, that's not how men operate. Men understand we get who we qualify. Why? Because we're constantly having to prove ourselves. We're constantly having to earn our value in this society, right? We constantly have to do that. I know it a lot of times, like it just sounds like rhetoric to these women or whatever, or people just pulling stuff out their butt. No, I understand that women are born with inherent value to a large degree. Men have to earn and make their way in this society. So, we not going, I think about growing up on the block, man, when I was a shorty, and me and one of my guys, like, we discovered we like the same shorty, man. We came to a consensus, man. We ain't finna fight and go at it over her, man. If she show you the rhythm, she show you the rhythm. Is what it is. If she show me the rhythm, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna take her up through that. Is what it is, right? And so, we not finna do no blood sport over you. We ain't finna do gladiator school over you. It's not that men don't like being in competition with one another, because the things that we compete for against one another are the things that sharpen us and make us better as contributors to society, not to win your affection. Right? Like, I'm not finna go bust Trill upside the head and say, look, I bust Trill upside the head for your. Nah, that's not how that works, man.
Really, remember we talked about, and this is many, many episodes ago, but we talked about a rapper who lost his life because he accidentally fell asleep over a female's place. You could actually be put in danger by her messing with multiple men and you getting too comfortable, so to speak, right? Because even if you're not in competition with him, he may be in competition with you. And you got to literally look over your shoulder. In these days and times, this is a very dangerous thing. Why put yourself in that position?
And I don't think women know how much. I don't think let me say this. I don't want to put an age on it, but I see this with younger women. I don't think you younger ladies realize how much y'all putting dudes' lives in jeopardy with these games. Y'all keep playing with them like that. I know that Zach Rap. I mean, I know the other people know in the comments too. That show that we talked about, that particular rapper. Rest in peace to him. Well, yeah, y'all putting many of men's lives in danger playing them games like that, man. And that's not cool at all.
Yeah, I think people move with just the wrong mindset, especially young dudes, man. Like, you shouldn't have to earn anybody. Like, like you earn your career, you earn your money, you earn a position, but I shouldn't have to earn somebody's affection. It's either we click and we compatible or we not. So just what I tell dudes all the time, like, just flash interest. You ain't gotta, like, never chase no woman, never chase nobody. You let her know that you interested as bluntly as you possibly can, or as subtle as you want to, however you want to play it. You know what I'm saying? Whether you got some finesse or whether you just come straight out and tell her. But all you can do is show interest, put the ball in her court, and then wherever it's gonna go, it's gonna go. But this whole, I need flowers every day, I need a good morning text every day, I need you to prove to me that I should be dating you is outrageous. Like and at the end of the day, like that's just with anything in life. Like the higher you elevating status, the less work you got to do to get benefits. So if you're gonna work toward anything, you need to work toward elevating your status, work toward getting some money, work toward, you know what I'm saying, like building your relationships, building your network, shit like that. Like that's what you should be working toward. And if you work toward those things, the women will fall in your lap easily. You know what I'm saying? But if you spend your time working to earn a woman's affection and attention, then you missing money on one end. And then for two, you showing her that it's not a privilege to be with you on the other. So, don't chase shit.
That's what I was about to say, bro. Like they shit, fuck, like in competition for what, dog? Like y'all outnumber us fucking 10-1 in most cities. Like for what? Like, man, like the crazy part is like with the whole posting, like if a good dude in here about his business, like what are options you got that's better than me? You know what I'm saying? What are if I'm stepping in you and you still talking about it, ain't nothing to talk about, bro. You like I said, it's a one on the back of this jersey, bro. Don't be playing them games with no females, man. Let her go on about her way. Leave them in hell. Leave them in hell because that's where they comfortable at, bro.
And when it comes to the competition and the earning and all that stuff, men do have to earn their way. But what women may not realize is we earn before we get to you. We go build our business or make our money or become the man that you want to be with before we even meet you. So the earning, the working, the competing comes way before you even come around. We don't build ourselves up. We driving this or we living here or we got this and we're able to do this or we're saying that. We built our platform up, whatever it is. We did that way before we met you. So we do have to earn your love and affection, but it's way before we even meet you. So we earn women's love and affection without the woman. So when a woman comes, we already got it because as a man, we have to already have it for us to actually start a long-term relationship or marriage with you. Because if we can't protect and provide for you, you're going to be looking at us crazy anyway. So it don't make no sense for us to start trying to earn you once you get in our face. He ain't the right man for you. So yeah, I ain't never competing for no woman because I competed for the woman before I even met her.
So answer me something, and this is one I'm gonna go ahead and shoot at some of the people who were in a different R&B era, so to speak. And some great songs, by the way, were made on this pretense. What were reasons why men had to beg and plead on bending knee so much? What exactly were they crying about? And did they have this type of king mentality saying, hey, I'm coming to the table?
No. Listen, let me say this because I think that era of R&B gets misconstrued. If you go back to the 70s, I always say, and maybe Ricky and Shan chime in, Mr. Lego, we all the same age, whatever. Y'all will chime in better than me, probably. But, you know, when I think about the 70s and the late 60s, you know what I'm saying? I always say bring ugly R&B back, right? Them was some ugly dudes, but they would sing their heart out. And you best believe if Eddie Levert was singing to his woman and you talk slick and thought he wasn't gangster and wasn't gonna punch your lights out, yeah, you're gonna rearrange the furniture in your mouth real quick, right? And then what we see in the 80s and the 90s was more or less, to me, it was more about marketing. And that's what you saw really with the R&B. And women were, you know, hyper consumers of that R&B. It wasn't like a lot of dudes tuned into it. The dudes was tuned into it because it was, you know, you was snaking the draws off the woman. You know what I'm saying? And then I have a whole nother class and theory about how music plays a part. And a lot of like people think like the music doesn't influence you or this, that, and the third. Man, so any dude on this panel, tell me about the rock and roll song you played when you was about to bed your woman down. Tell me about the heavy metal song you played for your woman. We don't do that. So it has a particular type of influence. And I think to your question, and again, maybe the other gentleman can pontificate better than I could on it, But I just think it was more of a marketing scheme. And the more if you follow the money, you see where certain songs and certain artists and certain this and certain that sold more. That's when you continue to, like, when Puffy broke through and turned R&B into like this bad boy genre of R&B. This is where we get the Chris Browns and the Trey Songz, and it ain't no more smooth. It is, but it's not popularized like the smooth R&B, like the Usher R&B. Dead, gone, right? And so for me, it's more about the marketing part of it. I don't think those dudes were really singing from a place of having to beg and plead and this, that, and the third, but they also didn't realize the impact that they made on a generation of men that were actually listening to that and actually tried to live that song out. Shan?
So, go ahead. So Rio, so understand something. There's two eras before the current era that Rilla was just talking about. There's two eras. There's the simp era, and then there's what we call the please, baby, baby, please era. The simp era is not what you're asking about. That's the era I grew up on. Do what you need to do. That was the 112. That was Keith Sweat and all them niggas. That was fucking Teddy Riley. That was R. Kelly. That was them. That was the simp. Do what you want. Do what you got to do for a woman. I just, meet me at the altar in your white dress. We ain't getting no younger. We might as well do this. That's the simp era. In the 70s and beyond was the please, baby, baby, please era. So now you're talking about the stylistics. Now you're talking about Earth, Wind, and Fire, Smokey Robinson, right? Now, the thing about that era where you're asking about, specific to your question, is why was men asking it? Because think of the women that they got versus the women that we get today. Now, I grew up I just had this on Husband Talk earlier today. I grew up 7 hot meals a week. I ate, if we had pizza or some outside food, that was a special. Moms cooked every single night the food from the grocery store. McDonald's was a treat, not an automatic as it is today. You had a woman that rubbed your feet in your back when you came home from the General Motors plant, when you came home from Lockheed building airplanes, when you finished digging ditches and laying electric and laying plumbing pipe and building the country. You had a woman that rubbed that knot out your back. You didn't have to go see a chiropractor. You married one. You had somebody that cooked for you. Your drawers was washed and folded and put away and fresh. Your lunch box. When's the last time somebody seen a man leave the house with his lunch box? Your lunch box was stacked with food that your woman cooked. The please, baby, baby, please era, the stylistics in them was begging for women because they knew that when they got that woman, that's what they were getting. When they got that woman, it was almost like, yo, please, baby, baby, please, I need you in my life because once I get you, I'm going to have a hot meal every night. My children are going to be taught at home in addition to what they learn at school. They won't be shoved with an iPad and told them to watch an iPad and cocoa melon all damn day. They will, my clothes will be washed. I will have my suit ready on Sunday. My woman is going to speak up for me in the streets when I'm gone. It was a different woman that you sang, please, baby, baby, please to back in that day. They don't make that model no more. They discontinued that model, right? But what happened was the singers kept singing. The singers in the simp era kept singing, kept kind of singing that tune to a different type woman. That was the baby boomers that they were singing that too. But then Generation X came along and them women wouldn't have it. And plus some of them women from the baby boomers was telling their daughters, don't do that shit. Now you get into the era today where they like, nah, fuck that. I just want to fuck you. I'm gonna fuck, the neighbors can hear my name, as Trey Songz tells everybody. It's all about just Chris Brown to tell you how well he's gonna fuck you, but that's about it. But back then, the reason why they sang Baby, Baby, Please is because the men knew the kind of woman that he was gonna get if she said yes to his marriage proposal. And if she said yes in 1966, in 1954, in 1972. He knew what kind of chick he was gonna get, and if she worked, it didn't matter. She still did all that shit at home, even if she had a job. Even if she worked herself, she still took care of all that shit at home. So the answer to your question directly is the reason why they sang those songs during the baby please era versus the simp era is because they got a different woman. And so those words that they were singing in those songs that Chuck Berry was singing actually mattered and shit. I don't think they matter so much today.
So that makes a lot of sense to me, Shan. I think, listen, I don't know, for the women who's following, I think there was a lot to learn there, because I think, so when I think about these two different eras, you may have brothers singing, would you mind if I touching that kiss and I held you tight until the morning light? That might get you laughed out the room today, right? But we're also in a period where Back That Ass Up is like a national anthem. And that actually might get you some draws. So it seems like we're dealing with a different caliber of woman. And Shan kind of really broke down the difference in caliber. These were actually ladies. Right. To its true form and definition.
Right. So what are you competing for?
Right.
Like what's at the end of the race? What's at the top of the mountain? What's on the other side of the tunnel? Just a question.
So, one, to answer your question, because that was a great question. Women now versus women then, they aren't, just overall, they aren't worth any of the baby please stuff. It's just, you know, the women, you know, and I don't want to be like back in my day. Women back then were smaller, better, more feminine. Like women these days are, you know, not all of them, but I say 70% of the women are trash. You know, it's just like, it's so many different reasons. The attitude, the fake hair and all this shit. Back then, during the baby please era, chicks were not wearing wigs. Not one chick wore a wig. Not one chick wore some stupid looking eyelashes. None of the chicks wore all this stupid shit.
If you wore a dress, you had on stockings. When was the last time you seen a woman with stockings?
Yeah. So, and on top of that, that's so beautiful is we had breakup songs. We had leave the drive-in songs. Like I remember the music that I would play when me and a girl I'm dating, we go to the drive-in. If we don't do it in the drive-in, on the way back to the house, I know I'm finna play a certain kind of music. I had a certain type of music that I would play knowing I'm finna smash. So the music, one, helped us smash. Two, it helped us get our girl back. It helped us cope with losing our girl. And it inspired us to want a girl. Like music now doesn't inspire us to want to do nothing but, I don't know, punch my face or shoot somebody. You know, it's idiot music now. But back then, it wasn't just about smashing. It was about the mood. Like I would literally, before I call a girl, I would have some music playing in the background.
Who you had playing, Lego? Who you had playing?
You was getting serious, man.
What was your outgoing message on your voicemail?
He had Lenny Williams.
On a voicemail, I would have, yo, what's up? This is Aaron. And music playing in the background. Everything we did had music. Like I literally, my homeboy was over my house. His girl broke his heart. We both walked in. We went over her house. We both walked in on her with a dude. I was just with him, and we rode the bus to go over her house. Because, you know, we kids, we ain't got no car. We rode the bus to go over her house. He had a key to her house. We both walked in on a dude. And I'm like, what you want to do? He just walked out. So I walked out with him. We rode the bus back to my house. This dude, because he knew I had the Lenny Williams tape. He didn't have the Lenny Williams tape. He's like, bro, I got to go to your house. He's just like fuming, right? I was like, all right. He goes in my room, closes my door, pops in the Lenny Williams tape. Oh, girl, you know why this dude don't lock me out of my own room. I'm sitting in the living room with my mama. My mama's like, what's going on? Just let him stay back there. Like, so it's certain, like the songs, they would stop singing in the middle of the song and start talking. They would stop in the middle of the song and start talking. The music will just stop, and he just starts talking to you. And you're just like, oh my God. It don't do that no more. Oh, sorry, I just had a vent right there, like, oh.
Hey, he said, you know, I cried.
That boy locked me out of my own room and just sat in there for like a good 20 minutes. I'm sitting in the living room with my mama. Looking crazy. Yo, man, the music back then was beautiful.
Yeah, it definitely was. Appreciate that story, Mr. Let Go. It sounded like it might have been funny, but not funny.
Wow.
If you guys just tuning in, welcome to King Talk. Make sure you hit that like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We got some super chats that dropped. Here we go.
Tap, what's good? He said, I'll match you, Sir Hell. What's good, panel? JR, Rilla, Trill, Ricky, Rio, Shannon, praying for all my brothers. Appreciate you, God.
Thank you. Thank you.
Shelton Ward, what's up, boy? Salute to all the Kangs. Appreciate you, God. Lady D with the super sticker. Thank you. Xavier Jackson, how do we know?
Shout out to bro. That's hilarious.
Broccoli, what's good, Brock? Bro, the education we get from King's Talk is better than anything you can get at Harvard or Yale. I appreciate each one of you, brothers, especially JR. And we appreciate you too, bro.
Sir, thank you.
Renee, I was taught a man eats off a real plate and drinks out of a glass. I told y'all about that. Them goddamn styrofoam plates is not the wave. I keep trying to tell y'all that. If she bring your food out on a styrofoam plate, leave immediately. Immediately leave. Kobe Jordan, my ringtone was the thong, baby.
Yeah, that's when everybody should be. What's crazy, you still got some grown folks out here now that still got ringtones on their phone. You'll be in the store and just hear that bitch playing. I'll be like, damn, really? Motherfucker be grown as hell. 45. he just could get over that damn song.
Tan, what's good, bro? He said, I'm the PA Bernie Mac, the pub Bernie Mac. Okay.
Nah, he said he the Paul. Talking about life.
I'm the Pabby.
Yeah.
Bernie Mac. I'm the Pabby.
Going on, HD?
What's up, man? Being a dad.
What's up, Doc?
Chilling. What y'all got going?
Now we're about to move into the second topic. We just got done with the first one.
It's a bet.
Big Gang, he said, tell the truth. Let go. When you walk in on that girl, both of y'all started crying.
Uh-oh.
That was hilarious, man. Again, hit that like button if you haven't already. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Let's go ahead and move on to our next topic. Shout out to the sponsor, Teej Hanley. Feel it, Teej. Make sure you guys click that link. It's in the description. 30% off along with a free gift. Hold
on, JR. Let me just play one thing. Just 3 seconds. Why are they playing? Hold on. Yeah, here it is. Listen to this. That's all y'all need to hear. That's how music used to sound back then.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Ricky, they don't make no tapes for their girls no more, man.
Oh, mix CDs.
They don't make no mix tapes for their girls no more, man.
To make the mix CDs back in the day.
Man.
No, Ricky, I said tapes. Cassette tape.
Yo, it wasn't you can't mix nothing. You got to pull the tape out and put it back in, man, please.
All right, let's go ahead and get this show cracking.
Other guys are in the mirror telling themselves, I'm the man, I'm the shit, I'm the this, I'm the that. But when they walk out the house, don't nobody know them. And if they disappeared off the planet tomorrow, who would miss them? And that's what bothers a lot of men. Living a life of insignificance. And all I'm saying is recognize it and change it. Don't bitch about it.
All right, that's the next topic, living a life of insignificance. I see Shan already getting his head going. What's going on, brother? You want to chime in first?
No, I was in an argument with one of my frat brothers in my fraternity group the other day. He posted. I should have went and found it. But he paraphrased that somebody else posted. He was like, he said it's more important to be interested in other people. Because when you're interested, because most people aren't interested in other people, you should pay attention to you could find success in the small details of people, and then you become interesting. Something like that, right? And all these noobs was in there saying, oh yeah, that's a good phrase, that's a good post. And I went in there, I said, nah. I said, I like the third sentence better. I said, become more interesting, more so than being interested in others. Once you become interesting, people will pour into you. And then of course you can learn about other people as you go. But if you are so busy focusing on what other people are doing, you might end up becoming a nobody and chasing after everybody all your life. Be interesting is the goal. And that was just a comment. That was just it's not really on this, but it was more so a conversation in a group on Facebook. So when you say living a life of insignificance, what Kevin Samuel says is exactly true. Stop bitching about it. Become something more than what you are. Now, I know it sounds easy, and I know in theory it sounds easy, but in practice it's really hard. But in my opinion, it took me a long time to realize mediocrity and average. Like my fashion business motto is we don't do basic. That's the name. Like our clothes, I got it on the wall, real big, written. Had a guy come in and paint it on the wall where all my employees work. And it says, we don't do basic. So if basic shit is what you want, then don't come here. But that's how you should live your life, fellas, gentlemen, everybody that's watching. Don't be a basic dude. I get it. That's where that's where everybody lands. That's what average comes from. But strive to not be so insignificant in everything you do, the way you mow your lawn, the way you play basketball, the way you play dominoes, the way you have sex with your woman, the money that you make, the amount of money that drops into your direct deposit every 2 weeks. Be above basic with most things. And then I think life will get a lot easier. I'll land right there and let other brothers speak.
I remember when I was first, I had two coaches, it's like speakers, coaches and stuff like that. And I knew I never wanted to be a speaker. I don't care about being a speaker. I want to be a personality. I don't give a damn about speaking and motivation. I don't care about all that stuff. And they would get mad at me because I won't listen. Well, it wasn't that I wasn't listening. I just was more significant than, other people. So other people were listening. I was looking at the actual coach and how he operates, how he runs this coaching group. Other people was listening to his coaching. I'm listening to like his tone of voice, how he commands a room. When he walks in a room, everybody stops talking and looks up. I'm learning that type of stuff. So with me, when it comes to insignificance, it's just like one, doing the bare minimum, or either not being afraid being afraid to step up, say something, or be wrong, or not be the best follower. I wasn't the best follower. I was the worst follower. I was I was terrible, like under my coaches, and they said it. And one of them, my first coach, shout out to Kendall Ficklin, he literally was like, yo, I want to thank you for not listening to me because I didn't see your vision. He said this 6 months ago. He said, I didn't see your vision. Thank you for not listening to me. And that is an example of being significant versus not being significant. Sometimes you got to think outside the box. Sometimes you got to do some other shit. You can't just be following in a little line like little kids walking down a line in school. And you don't supposed to be dancing and trying to get attention, but you got to figure out a better way to be standing in this line like little kids. So that's my whole way. My way of thinking was totally different than everybody. And you got to embrace when you're different and do something with it.
Yeah, I agree, man. I speak about it all the time. I think I went on a rant last Tuesday about it. You got a lot of dudes that are out here chasing the wrong shit, trying to emulate what you're seeing, or I'm focused on women, or I'm focused on this, I'm focused on that. And that's why I like Kevin Samuel so much, man. Rest in peace to bro. You know, he didn't get a lot of credit for a lot of that kind of verbiage. Act like, oh, he just got on here, just bash women all day long, whatever the case may be. But this man on the opposite end was telling boys, get on your shit. You can't be out here expecting a Beyonce or a Rihanna if you ain't accomplished shit. Like, what do you bring to the table? I never forget that funny phone call he had with that dude where he roasted his ass. He like, bro, you 5'4", 300 pounds. You say you make less than $10,000 a year, and you want to what? No, get your ass off your ass and go make some more money. Get up, glow up, go accomplish something, go elevate in life. And I feel like people, you know, are so worried about watching. Going back to what Shan is talking about, that's 1,000%. That's why some people spend so much time on social media trying to learn what this celebrity doing. Oh, damn, what chain did Lil Baby just buy? Or, you know, Dirk just bought the new Track Hawk. Or, damn, oh, that's crazy. Rolls Royce here with Meek and the Rolls, blah, blah, blah. You spending so much time and you got so much intel on what everybody else got. You ain't got time to go accomplish it. Because the fact is, everybody that you see with any kind of success, they had to get low and they had to get dirty to go get it. And that means cutting people off. That means not paying attention to what's going on outside. That means going into that dark hole and doing whatever it is that you got to do to get where you got to get to, whether it's studying to graduate college or it's, you know, writing raps in the studio for hours upon hours, or if you're an athlete, you're in that gym by yourself at 4 a.m., 5 a.m., putting up 1,000 jumpers a day. But people don't see that. They see Steph Curry come out there and hit 16 3-pointers and be like, damn, that must be God-given. It ain't. Niggas is putting in work out there to be that great. And you can't put that work in if you constantly worried about everybody else. You constantly looking to the left of you, looking to the right of you. Fact is, 98, 97% of people are sheep. Scared to death. Going back to what Mr. Lego said, to speak out. Scared I'm going to say something wrong. Scared I'm going to embarrass myself. So I'm going to just blend in. You will never be significant trying to blend in with everybody else. You're going to be a carbon copy of them. And we see it on these panels all the time. You got people that's, you know, stealing Kevin Samuel's swag, or stealing this YouTube influencer swag, or that one, or whatever the case may be. You'll never be respected like them if you copying somebody else. So sometimes you got to disconnect from this shit and figure out who you are and come with your own new, fresh approach. That's one thing about me. I don't try to be like nobody. If I disagree, I don't give a damn who it is. And me and Kevin Samuels, they got into it before, as far as disagreeing on points. And I respect the hell out of bro. But if I believe something is true, I'm standing on it. I don't care if it's me versus 1,000 people. That's how you become significant. Not just caving because, you know, everybody's going this way. So fuck it. I don't want to embarrass myself. I don't want to seem like the odd man out. I don't want to go against the grain. So I'm gonna just go with them, even though I don't really believe in that. That is the fastest way in the world to insignificance. So, you know, just to echo what bro was saying, man, like disconnect from this shit. Whether you got to disconnect from social media, go read books, go do whatever you got to do. But be the new you. It ain't shit special about being the next Kevin Samuel. Be the first you. Simple and plain.
That's good, man. I was thinking about it from the perspective of, if you live in a life of insignificance, then you realize you don't really understand that you have a purpose, right? And everybody has a purpose. And I come from the perspective of a biblical perspective. And so, you know, being a husband and being a dad, you are. It doesn't make any sense for you to be insignificant, because you are paving the way for the next generation. You are teaching your sons and daughters how to be, your sons, you're teaching them how to be a husband, and you're teaching your daughters what to look for when they're looking for a husband. And so that just in that particular part of you being a man, you are not going to be insignificant. Just that you will be able to change your family's legacy. I think it was Dr. Tony Evans who talked about you want to change the world, then you start at home. So the men that are saying that they're leaders, well, you should be a leader in your home first before you even step out the door, right? And if you're not a husband or a dad, you should be influencing or talking to these young dudes about how the decision that you made that wasn't a good decision, and so I'm trying to keep you out of that, right? So if you're, in my estimation, if you're living a life of insignificance, you're doing that on purpose, because it is inherent as a man to take care of things, to resolve situations, and to be an answer to a help. So if you're living a life of insignificance, then you're really trying hard, in my estimation. I've been around and heard about these dudes living with women, just for example, and I'm like, that's not even in my mind. Like, I don't understand why you would think that makes sense to live off on someone else. Like, you doing that on purpose, right? And so when you live in that particular manner, you are reducing yourself on a continuous basis. And the men on the panel, we trying to talk to y'all about, I'll just speak for me for sure, but just talking to them, you want to be on your purpose on purpose. And that should be something that you're doing every day. And the progress is going to be slow sometimes it'll be fast. It just all depends on your work ethic, right? So at the end of the day, you need to find out what it is that you enjoy to do and try to do that. But the most important thing that I would say for me, I love being a husband, can't wait to be a husband again, and I love and enjoy being a dad because I get to change the world right here in my house.
I think one of the things that we do just right here on this panel is very important. And by that, I mean having regular conversations to people who are being significant within their own lives. Because ideally, we're coming to the table to exchange information, not just provide it. And just to put that in context, I remember one time we were having a conversation on here, and for instance, Shan said something about if you sell real estate, how effective essentially are you being? It made me think about, okay, how many units am I really putting out, closing or whatever this year? You know what I mean? It's easy just to say this is what I do, but how effective are you at doing it, right? Trill said something last week about reading. It made me think about, okay, well, how efficient are we being? A lot of us like to stay busy and say what we don't have time for, right? But what's productive use of that time, right? And if you can't make a space to learn, how effective and how significant will you continue to be? I've been on Humble Dad's podcast. He talked about fatherhood. He said some things that made me think about, damn, this emotionally unavailable thing is not going to fly with my kids. I better tap into some type of motherfucking affection, right? In order to me to be effective as a father, right? But see, these thoughts are inspired by having conversations with significant people several hours a week, every week, consistently. Ideally, we're here to grow each other, right? So living a life of significance means that sometimes you travel from wherever, now we got the internet, but you travel for however long or far to sit at a table with other kings and exchange information that hopefully you leave with something to add to your playbook that you can apply to remain significant, to be effective, to be productive. So that's my take.
Yo, but Rio, you said something that was really important, man, and I really hope the audience didn't skip over that. You talked about, and as soon as you said it, I just think about people that are quick to talk about what they do, like associating titles to their name. I know Let Go in Atlanta, he see it all. I know you see it. Shan, you in LA, I know you see it. There's a difference. Trill, I can only imagine how that's popping up in Houston, especially with how y'all popping off down there and the party promoters. Everybody's a somebody. Everybody's a somebody, but you're I don't want to disrespect and say you a nobody, but it's like, man, come on, fam. You know what I took from the clip, JR, as you was playing, and I agree with you, Trill. Rest in peace to bro. I think Kevin Samuels definitely does not get his just due, and I think in his untimely passing, I think he is still, his gems are still resonating. I say all the time, the dopest, and I'm grateful that I had a chance to tell him the dopest video that I think he did was things your daddy should have taught you. That's a video that is required for every young blood, and every old head that don't know how to wipe his tail correctly should watch that video. Like facts. If you taking off your drawers at night and you got streaks in them, you should watch that video. You're gonna pick up a lot more, but just, anyway. I think living a life of significance, man, I think it's rooted in purpose. I agree with Humble Dad, in the sense that it's rooted in purpose. And then I also don't want to misconstrue and having people misunderstand that, the significant part of it isn't necessarily, everybody's not going to be to the visibility and level of a Jay-Z or a Kanye or a Dame Dash, or I don't know, what's the old boy name? Pete, like whatever celebrity I was with, Kim Kardashian. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like, everybody's not going to be to that level, and that's not how you should define significance. You should define significance based on your purpose and the people that you impact in your life. Why do I say that? Because y'all know me, man. I keep up, on the side. I keep up with pimping and whole culture. And there was a real popular pimp that just passed, and they celebrated him like a king was going home, right? And in other people's eyes, that would be looked at as, oh, that's the scum of the earth. He's no good. Da, da, da. Well, in their eyes, he lived a life of significance. Right? We might not agree with it. We might not do that, this, that, and the third, whatever our ideology is or whatever our moral beliefs are. Cool. But I'm saying that life of significance for those people that he lived for, they celebrated him. And I think that's what Kevin Samuels was speaking to. Like, if you was to pass on, who would know you? Who would celebrate you? Who would mourn you? Who would grieve over you? And that's what you should strive to do in your circumference, in your inner circle, in your cipher. You should always strive to live in your purpose and be the best version of you possible to impact and influence those people around you.
Yeah, man. I think everybody made great points, no doubt. Everybody, hey, y'all hit the target. My thing is, as far as this goes, is understanding what your journey means to you. Right? Because just like Mr. Let Go said, everybody not going to see it the same way you see it. You know what I mean? Everybody not going to see it the same way you see it. And the only thing that you really got to measure anything by is the results. Right? It's not how you feel about it. It's not what your intent was, because we all know the road to hell was paved with good intentions, right? Right? So it's really about you understanding the mission. It's really about you understanding what impact you looking to make, because no matter how great it is and how much they celebrate you, one day everybody gonna forget you. Right? So you got to put the work in while you're here when it counts, because it's the only thing they're gonna be able to have to judge you by. That's all I got on
it. All right. You guys just tuning in, welcome to King Talk. Make sure you get the likes up. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Let me see, we got some super chats that came in. I think we did.
Can I add real quick before you do that?
Go ahead.
I had a partner that just passed last Monday from brain cancer.
Sorry to hear that, brother.
Thank you. And I didn't know that I was, you never know who you influencing or who is listening to what it is that you're saying, right? Like, and this guy, his kids came up to me. Well, y'all know I do the Humble Dad podcast, and I interviewed their dad almost a year ago, right? And he comes up to me. I'm sorry, they come up to me one by one. They don't even know that each one of them had talked to me, but each one of them talked to me about how they appreciated the interview. because it gave them a glimpse of being able to see their dad holistically, because he had lost the ability to communicate with them. And this was a guy that won Emmys for broadcasting. Okay. So, and as they're coming up to me and telling me this, I'm like, I think that humble dad is okay. Right. But to them, they're like, this gave me an outlet as well as it gave me some closure. Then the oldest son came up to me. He said, I want to thank you for the interview, but I also want you to know that you talked to my dad and you helped him critically think. And because you helped him critically think, that made it better for us in our house. Because their dad was one of my teachers that taught us how to study the Bible. And so we would have these different conversations all the time for like 2 years. And so that gave me more confidence to say, like, you know, because sometimes you if you say something and people don't like it, then you have to deal with those consequences, right? But at the same time, knowing that I made an impact, not even trying to, but just stating, like what Mr. Let Go said, like I just thought differently and I stated it, that it would be influential to him enough that he would go home and tell his kids about that he has now began to think critically. So that's just to say to people that be yourself, because can't nobody else be you.
That was a message right there, humble dad, man. I'm glad you went ahead and shared that. Again, if you're tuning in, welcome to King Tut. Hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Let me get through these super chats real quick. Go ahead, Ricky.
The Clue channel. I knocked on her door, but yet my knocks were unanswered. Then I went to bed, but I found myself waking up a few hours later. The real Pookie, the Black Donald Trump. Don't get significance and popularity mixed up.
That's the real Pookie. That picture's is hilarious. I think that's all the super chats for right now. Let's go ahead and get into our next topic. I'm going to cue this video up, man. I seen this video. It was hilarious. Of course, it's about Russell Wilson being a lame. Did y'all see the video with Shani? Was it Shani Crowder? Y'all see it? Oh, yeah, you did see it? Oh, sure.
That was
the old school one about 5 months ago. Yeah, I saw that.
Old?
Yeah. That happened about 5-6 months ago. That shit went viral.
Okay, well, it's my first time seeing it. Are you saying it just went viral now?
No,
it went viral. I did a reaction on that. But go ahead. It's good though. It's gonna transcend time.
I'm not sure if y'all saw the new one. I heard him say that shit before, but I'm talking about when he said it again.
All right, we'll play it. I will let you know.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and play it. I hope y'all ain't seen this shit, because y'all just gonna steal my joy right now. Let me go ahead and cue it up. Here we go. Where is it? There it is.
The Wilson thing.
That's why I was going to go
to a different level. Fuck you. I don't care. I don't care what this man does on the field. I don't care what he does. He's lame. Like, dudes be lame.
You think he lame because?
No. You just said because. I don't need it because. I'm gonna turn to the interviewer. Is Russell Wilson lame?
No, he's not lame. He's not lame.
He's not lame.
No.
Why not?
Because first of all, he's the embodiment. He's an embodiment of what a black man should be. He's good. He's good to his wife. Right.
That doesn't make you not lame.
So what makes him lame then? Because you said you don't need a because.
Do you want to hang with this motherfucker on a Friday night?
What that got to do with anything?
That's what lame means.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does, bro.
No, it doesn't.
That's what it is. Bro, I'll tell you this. Great husband, great father. He took little Future and he's taking another man's kid under his wing.
That's fucking great.
That's amazing. I know, and I respect that.
And I love who he is as a man.
I know, and who he speaks as a man.
So how dare you call this man lame?
Takes care of his wife.
So
no. Listen, nigga.
Go ahead.
You keep talking. Will have money his whole life. Gonna take care of his parents. Do everything he needs to. I respect him.
Okay.
The nigga is a fucking duck.
So how? What you said everything that made him great. So what makes him a lame?
Because of how he talks. You see the videos. You see the Mr. Incredible. You see all the stuff. Have you just seen a recent one? Have you seen a recent one when he was picking out his suits?
I haven't seen none of that.
Yes, no. He changes his voice. Bro,
he's different.
Huh?
He's different.
No, he's square. He's like, it's nothing. It's a big problem, but it's not a problem.
Thank you, I'm hot. You got me fucking hot. Sweating and shit.
Hey, that's Victor Oladipo.
Nah, that's Mr. J Hill, man. He got a YouTube channel. Shout out to bro.
Okay. Let me
Okay,
just
that's a different video. That's a new video, JR.
Wait,
That's not what
let
we
me
were
let
talking
me get
about.
this out the way just real quick, because that's the problem. That's part of the problem. So this is the same dude that was interviewing with Kevin Hart and said him and his wife like to walk around on nude beaches. They ain't doing nothing. They just walking around nude beaches, and Kevin Hart deconstructed them. And then this is the dude that's validating whether somebody else is lame. Like he gave all the accolades of what makes him a good individual, but because you wouldn't individually hang out with him, on a Friday night, he's lame. For me, let me just get it land. That's part of the problem. Because that's what the young bloods look at, and they like, and that's what they judge by. They listening to how dude talk. He sounds familiar. He sound like either a D-boy from the block or whoever, a thug, gangster, whatever from the block. Just his cadence and how he speaks. Obviously he's an athlete, successful athlete, retired, whatever, whoopty-woo. And that's what they go by, and that's how we determine who's lame. Like, and double down on it. Yeah, I'm good on that, fam. I'm good on it. I'm good. Man, I'm 38 hot right now. Somebody else go ahead, please.
His personality and the way he acts with his family are two totally different things. That's all. I understand what dude's saying. Maybe you could say he can go about saying it different, but I understand what he's saying, right? He's saying he's not a cool kid. He's not a dude he'll want to hang out with. You know what I'm saying? That don't take away from what he does as a man for his wife and his children and his stepchildren and his family and his mom and dad. He just saying, I wouldn't hang out with you. You know what I'm saying? He ain't the type of dude I'd like to be hang around. You know, he might call him a L7, he might call him a square, he might call him whatever, but he's saying he's not one of the cool kids. That's what he should be saying.
I agree with you, Ricky. Well, Trill, my bad. Go ahead, bro, because you're an athlete. I know you could speak to it because you probably relate to how he's saying it.
Yeah, he you know, the irony of this shit is, right, is that like it's kind of hard for Russell Wilson to be a lame. I think Channing Crowder using the wrong word. I think he meaning square. Because I mean, if you the star quarterback of the team, multi-millionaire, Russell Wilson can have any whole endeavor he want. If we're gonna be honest, you know what I'm saying. Lames can't get women. Lames ain't, you know, superstar all world athletes like that. That ain't how that go. But square, he's right about that for sure. Like in terms of hanging out with him, you know, I'd be a little skeptical about what I do. I gotta watch him, you know what I'm saying? We get jammed up, nigga might tell, or, you know, your girl call him to see where you at, and he might snitch and, you know, let it slip. Well, you know, I seen him leaving out of the spot with her. You know what I mean? It's just certain shit like that, you know.
Why you get your voice like that?
Because that's how you talk. But regardless, what I'm saying is this, right? That doesn't take away from who he is as a man. Going back to what, you know, Ricky and you know, really is speaking to. He's an all-world man, grown man. Take care of your family, take care of your kids, take care of other men's kids. All of that shit is honorable. But is he a square? Yes. But I mean, and it's not just Channing Crowder that said it. Like if you go back to that Seattle team that won the Super Bowl, Cam Chancellor said as much. Richard Sherman said as much. Earl Thomas said as much. You know what I'm saying? It's like he's the kind of guy that's just, you know, he's on the outside looking in. I don't like speaking on cool tables and shit like that. But, you know, again, it's just certain dudes to where you could just let your head on and we just gonna kick it. You ain't got to worry about nothing getting out. You ain't got to worry. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of somebody might fuck up, somebody might do something, whatever. You ain't got to worry about it. But with somebody like him, you got to be kind of on edge because he a little too close with the coach. He a little too close with the owner. You know what I mean? So we can't be in this bitch blowing down weed, shit like that. You know what I'm saying? He get jammed up, nigga might let it slip in conversation. Now we getting fined and we on punishment, running laps till we pass out and shit. So I think that's more what he's speaking on, square, not necessarily how he's built as a man, and those are two different things. Going back to what Ricky's saying,
I think that would make him a lame if he's snitching though.
Wait, I want to know from Trill, how many bear crawls did you have to do because somebody snitched on y'all?
Shit, about 150, 100, somewhere around there. Yeah. We was out doing what we wasn't supposed to do on game night. Y'all know how it is on game night. Coach, y'all be in a hotel and shit. You ain't supposed to leave the hotel. You know what I'm saying? So, niggas had, one of my niggas had the low on the, you know what I mean? But that's another conversation for another day. He got caught. Niggas told. That's what it is. But again, I would expect that from a square. It's just like, a street nigga compared to somebody that ain't in the streets. You live by a different type of code. Like you expect him to tell because he's a square. But if, let's say Michael Vick got caught out with you and he got caught, you going to expect Mike to hold it down. That's just because that's how he carry himself. You know what I'm saying? And again, both of those are great men. Mike Vick raises kids, take care of his wife, take care, you know what I'm saying? Stand up dude, take care of his community, all type of shit. But Mike Vick is not a square. You could bring Mike Vick in any environment and he going to be comfortable regardless of what it is. But Russell Wilson is certain places, you know what I'm saying? And we all got them, certain type of friends. It's certain friends that we can bring to the trap and play dominoes and drink and all type of shit. And he good. We ain't got to worry about him. We ain't got to look over our shoulder and make sure, hey man, y'all niggas make sure y'all leave him alone, man. Don't, he ain't from this. You gotta. But then it's other homeboys you can bring right there. That motherfucker sitting right there with you with a bottle in his hand, chopping it up, talking shit, taking shots, playing dominoes, playing spades, whatever the case may be. So I think, again, when he's speaking about lame and square, it's like Russell Wilson is a black man, but he's not of our culture. I think that's more what he's speaking to. So that's why I say I think he used the wrong word. Wouldn't necessarily say he's a lame, because again, he's a star quarterback that's worth $100+ million, and he'd have been a star quarterback his whole life, which means he's been able to get down to any woman he wants his whole life. But he's a square. Those are two different things.
Yeah, be a square. Young men, he used the wrong word. He used the wrong term. Trill nailed it. He's not talking about a lame. He's talking about a square. But if you get it mixed up or you want to be, let me be clear, be a lame. If you want, if we have to go by Channing's definition, then be lame. Be a multi-millionaire star quarterback, team captain, all-American, endorsed by hundreds of companies, baddie wife, children. Be lame. It is okay if we got to go by that definition. Reality is he's just talking about him being square. I think what he's doing is he got so much backlash on the first video he did 6 months ago that, listen, sign language, we always talk about it, right? Same insults, guilt, and the need to be right. Unfortunately, there's a lot of men out there that need to be right too. It's very difficult for some men. I know I put this on women because I'm hard on women. I get it. But I know that there's men out there that just need to be right, even when everything flies in the face of your point. It's like, dog, just Channing. You had the opportunity to correct that. You did. Now you want to double. That's why the caption said double down. Some people just double down because they need to be right. Channing needs to be right. That's all. And he knows in his heart of hearts that he's wrong. Now, you want to call him square, dude? Yeah, he's square. Why is he dude put him to task? Whoever that is on the show. Shout out to dude. Shout out to bro. He was like, all right, you told me everything good about him. Now tell me why he's lame. Answer that. Well, it's how he picks out his clothes, how he picked out some suits. It's how his voice goes. He fluctuates his voice. Well, shit. Have you ever hung out with Prince? I worked with Prince years ago. That dude ain't lame. And I guarantee you he probably picked out his suits and fluctuated his voice way more than Russell Wilson. But I bet no nigga, and this motherfucker wore pants with his ass out in high heels. Yeah, ain't nobody calling Prince lame in his face. Trust me when I tell you. No security around. Somebody else told me that Prince can ball like basketball. I was like, we can ball, but So I'm just, just sometimes, man, listen, the biggest story here for me and the biggest takeaway I want men to have is don't have the need to be right. That's the worst of sign language. SIGN, the N is the worst of them all. I tell people don't deal with women that need to be right, but fellas, don't you have the need to be right? When you wrong about some shit, absorb it, hear the information, process it in your processor, and then spit out the proper answer, not the one that makes you feel better. Channing is wrong. And Russell will, and I get it. Oh, he's a simp and all that. That, you know what? That's everybody that identifies with the futures. I don't identify with the future type. I'm a different caliber of guy. I am. So he's tripping when he calls him lame. Square, be square. I'm square. So shit.
Yo, I would say one, nobody's wrong because that's his preference of, like, we all have preferences of people we want to hang out with. And one, it's disrespectful to be on a show talking about that man over there is lame. That man ain't did nothing to you. So if there was a conversation of he did this and he did that, and you're like, yo, that nigga lame for what he did, now that's context. But just sitting here saying he is lame, why? Why did he come up anyway? Like, because I would say he's a cornball for marrying Sierra after she dated, Future, 50 Cent, and Lil Bow Wow. But those are actions. And that is my way of looking at, his actions. But him as a person, I don't know that man. I just look at people's decisions. And because of your decisions, I would say A, B, and C about you. But I wouldn't say that about him as a person. I don't care nothing about hanging out with none of these damn dudes. So I don't care who is what. Because I ain't running around hanging out with somebody. So if I knew Russell Wilson, guess what? I'll hang out with him if we was cool. If Russell Wilson followed me, I was like, yo, man, I like what you're doing. Whatever. Come out to, you don't think I'm coming out? I'm coming out. Hang out with him. Because at the end of the day, I don't know him. So maybe Channing Crowder knows him. But if I hung out with him, then I'll be like, yeah, he's this, he's that, or whatever. But I don't know this man personally. The only thing I know is his decisions. And just like I say about anybody's decisions, I have my opinion about a decision. But him as a person, I don't know this man. So he was wrong for just yelling out, oh, he's a lame. Why is that a topic? So that's my thing. That shit was stupid.
I'll tell you why it was, Mr. Lego, is because he get a whole lot of praise for his relationship. And, fact is, like, we fucked up parts, we get on women for this all the time, right? Whenever a new chick come in, she start getting too much praise. Damn, she pretty. Damn, she got ass, whatever the case may be. You look at the timeline, and you see all of the chicks that's used to getting that attention, they start throwing little subtle jabs, little subtle shots, little insecurity. You know what I'm saying? So Russell Wilson is hailed as the, like, poster boy for what you men should strive to be. Right. And men don't take that kindly. You know what I'm saying? Because we so competitive, but especially if we feel like this dude is not of our culture. Even he may be black, but he's not of our culture. Right. And it speaks to how fucked up that our culture is, if we're gonna keep it real here. You know what I'm saying? Just like, Channing listing off all those things, it's quality. You know what I'm saying? This man, stand-up guy, go to church, take care of his family, raise his kids, all this. Got his, you know what I'm saying? He ain't out here embarrassing Sierra. None of that. He ain't out here chasing clout like a lot of these dudes be doing. None of that. He literally goes to the game, mind his business, make goofy videos with his girl. That's it. That's all. And take care of his kids. But the fact that it's an issue with that speaks volumes to how fucked up our culture. You know what I was thinking about? Like, why y'all was talking? Like, in our neighborhood, right? Like, niggas got more praise for going to jail, doing 15 years and coming home than going to college and coming back for a break. Or going to college, graduating, and coming back to the neighborhood. Like, if one person go to college and graduate, come back to the neighborhood, one person go do 15 years and come home, the nigga that did 15 years is going to get more praise than the dude that graduated college. And I think that's what, again, that speaks volumes to the type of shit that we value in our neighborhood. And it ain't until you leave the neighborhood that you realize how crazy that line of thinking is. Like you literally got your respect based on how violent niggas believe that you could be. That's what, that was currency there. Not how smart you was, you know what I'm saying? Not how much integrity you got, not how well you took care of your girl and none of that, how faithful you was. Nah, if we believe that, again, it's all about like, damn, like, would he ride? Like what, like how violent would he get if niggas played with him? Like who would test, like that type of thing. And you would literally have people that'll test you to see. Just cause you ain't did nothing to them, you minding your business, all type of shit. And you'll have a dude that'll just press buttons with you, mess with you, poke fun at just like something. And they call it bullying now, but yeah, that was it. But it's like once you stand up to that bully, once you punch him in his mouth or you beat him up, whatever the case may be, now you got credibility in the neighborhood. And it's like we just praise the wrong type of shit, man. Like we do. You'll have dudes that'll be out here running through women. Even when we was younger, when we was in high school, we in college. I say it all the time. That got you currency. More so than, that old dude in the neighborhood that was married 20 years, went to work every day, took care of his kids. He don't get as much respect as the dude that's just running through all of the bad women. Every time you see him, he got a new girl with him. And like, yeah, damn, bro be on them hoes. Meanwhile, the dude that's providing an example of how shit could be, he get looked over. He invisible. But in other cultures, it's the opposite. Like you get praised by how much of a stand-up man you are with your family. You get praised on your ability to provide, how much money you making, like how many people you influence, how many people you giving jobs to, charity work you doing in the neighborhood, coaching the football team, different shit like that. That's what gets you praised in those other cultures. But with us, more times than not, it's toxic shit. You know what I'm saying? I respect him because he shot 3 niggas last week. So I know he ain't to be played with. You know what I'm saying? So if I travel, I want him in my corner because he going to give me a certain kind of currency. They see me with him, then I'm, tough by association, or I'm cool by association. Or, he got hands. So yeah, I want to roll with him. He done beat up a couple niggas. So, he got his respect that way. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I want to keep him in the fold. Like those are the things that we praise, that we look up to in this culture. That's why somebody like a Russell Wilson can be called a lame, and somebody like a Future, and again, no disrespect to Future, I hate using him, but those is the two that's always on, the dichotomy of what the man is. You know what I'm saying? So, but the Future who got 8 kids from 10 different women, he's looked at as the cool nigga. And again, I think it just speaks volumes to our culture, man. We so ass backwards that's ridiculous.
That's why I was 38 hot earlier, Trill, because I never purport myself. I don't consider myself part of the cool kids. I flag Neutron Nation, L7 Square all day, twice on Sundays. You understand what I'm saying? And the thing of it is, the way that I grew up is funny because I had honors classes and AP classes. So I'm over there with the nerds and the geeks. But because of the neighborhood that I grew up in, I was respected and affiliated with the gangbangers, right? So I saw both ends. And then because, and I say this and people, trip on it, but in Chicago, it was a couple things. You either gangbanging, dope dealing, athletics, football or basketball, or you was dancing, right? So we would house music, dance battles was a big thing. For me in high school, I found my niche battling, dancing. And so I was cool in a sense for that reason. So when dude is talking, we see this story play out all the time, bro. All of the dope dealers, ain't no retirement from dope dealing. Ain't no retirement from gang banging, fam. And we see this story play out. So that's why when I was listening to it, I was like 38 hot, because I see how this story play out. All the cats that I was in AP and honors classes with that went on to get their degrees in forensic accounting, that went to get their degrees in chemistry and, working for Ecolabs or EcoSure or, you know what I'm saying? They Gucci. They went to U of I. They went to Champaign-Urbana, you know what I'm saying? Or they went to Western or whatever. They Gucci. Guess what? They make they high five 6-figure income, whatever. They come back to the hood. Same dudes that was popular in high school, stomach over the belt. You know what I'm saying? Stomach over the belt. You know, hey man, let me borrow something. Let me hold something, man. Man, I remember you, man. Hey, professor, I remember you was man. Come on, bro. And this is the message that we continue to pump out to these kids. So I hear y'all when y'all say he used the wrong terminology, but them shorties hear him and they know exactly what he's saying. Them shorties hear him. And that's the issue that I take with it. So I appreciate everything that y'all saying, but I just wanted to piggyback off that trail real quick, man.
So, you know, one thing that comes to mind for me is the more we are in power, the less we have to conform in order to be accepted, right? You essentially create the culture in your organization. Russell Wilson is a professional.
Say that line again, bro. Say that line again. The beginning.
Create the culture in your organization?
No, that other line.
So the more we are in power, the less we have to conform in order to be accepted. Okay. So Russell Wilson is an employee of an NFL team. That's essentially what he is. So if we think about employees and we think about, man, what's the ideal employee, right? Follows code of conduct, family man, he's a leader. I mean, he doesn't demonstrate any aggressive posture. He seems to have mental stability. He's trustworthy. He has the perfect demeanor, clean cut, speaks proper English. In the public eye, he does all of these things so consistently that this must be him. And so within the NFL, he absolutely he's held the highest esteem, not just there, but also in the public eye. He appears wholesome. I think it's difficult to call someone who's winning on multiple levels a lame, right? But you always have these other disgruntled employees who have something to say. That comes with the territory when you win it. So whether you want to hang out with him on a Friday night is absolutely irrelevant, because 9 times out of 10, does Russell Wilson want to hang out with him? I don't even have to be a Russell Wilson to observe this. You know what I mean? Like I said, he's, man, at my eyes, top tier. You know what I mean? So all I can say is we have to be careful, you know, when we throw rocks, you know, because at the end of the day, when you do, then we're going to look back at you and try to figure out why you're an authority on what qualifies someone in whatever capacity. So I released the mic.
Go ahead, Mr. Lego.
I just want to ask y'all, who, if Russell Wilson follows Lapeef Network or followed you on Instagram or whatever, or liked your videos on YouTube and was like, yo, I like what you do. Like, come out and cook to a game. And, you know, because I'm a fan of your content. Who would fly out and just hang out with him? I would.
Well, I think he's going to invite Humble Dad, all of us. And then Humble Dad going, because Humble Dad know he going to eat.
Bro, you don't stop.
And I'm going to say this, right? If we talking about Russell Wilson, the simple fact that he's used as a standard for being the ultimate good guy. Right? So, and that's the feed the Rillo point, right? It's always the good guys, right? That's considered less than, right? They do everything right in life. Everything that everybody in society, when shit go wrong or don't go y'all way, y'all be crying about, oh, this is what I should have done. If I'd have just made the right moves, if I'd have just made the right choices. Right? But then he's lame. Right? It's really not saying nothing about Russell Wilson. It's really saying something about y'all.
Tell y'all what, it started early, man. It started like real early. Like it even like think about when you was in school, like it was looked down upon for you to be smart. Like you literally had people trying to hide how smart they was so they could fit in, which is like when you think about it now as a grown man, it's just like that's ridiculous. Like you trying to hide, like you trying to like answer questions wrong in class so you can fit in with the in crowd. Like that's the type of shit that our culture promotes, man.
Nigga,
You know what I'm
I
saying?
almost failed out senior year in high school on that shit. I just told y'all I had honors and AP classes coming in freshman year, sophomore year, junior year, I'm good. Senior year, I catch senioritis, and then because I was feeling myself and got some sense of popularity, trying to fit in.
Right? But see that, which goes back to, which is why I wish King Rio would expound upon that PowerPoint more, because that shit is so pivotal in, you know, keeping a kid on the right track or keeping a kid going within his own lane, which is why it's dope that JR put these topics so close together, because it speaks to the significance topic earlier, right? If I'm successful at what I do, then I'm going to get, you know, my own tribe, so I don't have to worry about fitting in. Because fact is, people gravitate to winners in whatever aspect that you winning in. You could be a dope ass violin player or a dope ass trumpet player. But if you are top shelf or elite at what you're doing, then you've carved out your own power play, going back to what Rio was saying, which means I don't have to follow shit. I'm great at something in my own right. So that's gonna get me my own following, and more importantly, a following of people that's in line with where I'm trying to go. Not me leaving trumpet practice and going hang out in the hood because I want to fit in. Even though I know half of these niggas is gonna be here 20 years from now doing the same thing they doing today. Last time that I went back to my hood, I seen the same niggas that I used to look up to. Same ones. In the same spot. On the same corners, outside the same liquor stores, going to the same Sky Bar that's out there in Beaumont. If y'all from Port Arthur, y'all know exactly what it is I'm talking about. Doing the same shit, wearing the same tall tees, the same jabots, the same black low top forces, the same shit. And then I pull up with what I'm driving, and I pull up looking, and now I'm big bro. These niggas older than me. Which is why I tell young dudes all the time, like when they be trying to fit in, they looking up to these drug dealers, they looking up to this, they looking up to that. Watch the movie till the credits roll. Don't stop it right. Don't stop paid in full right before they kidnap Mitch's brother. No. Watch it through. Watch it till the credits roll. And then at the end of it, analyze it. These same niggas that you was looking up to, same nigga that used to pull up in that BMW back in the day, he had all the money, pocket full of money, women everywhere. Think about how long his run was. That wasn't a 15-year run. That wasn't a 20-year run of him being that. 2 years, 2.5, 3 tops. Then he had to go sit down for 20. Or go sit down for 15. And the whole time that they was calling you a square, whatever, because you wanted to go to school or you wanted to do your work, now this same nigga getting out of jail asking you for a job. Calling you big bro. Kids don't even respect him because he ain't been there. So, so I tell young dudes all the time, man, watch the movie until the credits roll. And then shit is going to make way more sense to you. Stop trying to chase what you think is cool, because what you think is cool when you're young is really going to be some lame shit when you elevate and grow up and, have a family of your own and got real income coming in and real responsibilities and having real influence on people. You're going to look back at all that shit that you thought was cool and laugh and shake your fucking head. Just like Russell Wilson doing every time he see Channing Crowder making these videos.
What's crazy is that Channing Crowder, man, he doesn't realize that. I'm assuming he doesn't realize that he's jealous from my perspective is what I'm seeing, because why are you speaking on this dude on a continuous basis? And also not only that you got to where you are riding the coattails of other people. Because I've been watching him. He was on with who is it? Ocho Cinco and somebody else before. and then they branched off to be a part of Fred Taylor and I can't think of his name, the show that they're on now. And he's typically the individual that doesn't have the most to say from a productive standpoint. He always seems to be the negative person or the immoral person, if you will, if you're going down that road of morality. And it took me back. This is what I was thinking when he was talking about. You were saying, Trill. It's like the kid that's in class that's smart, and then the kid that's not as smart says, "You need to stop talking because you're making me look dumb," right? Like for Shannon to think that what he has to say is valuable enough to take somebody off of their square to aspire to be like a Russell Wilson says that he feels like he has that type of influence, right? And unfortunately, he does have some of that influence. And I would hope that people would see that what Shannon is saying goes against what it is that specifically black men need to kind of be aspiring to. I mean, Russell Wilson is a superstar, right? I remember when he was at NC State. No, before he was at NC State. Yeah, before he was at NC State, he was at another school. I can't remember the name of it. And
who are you talking about, Russ?
Russell Wilson at Wisconsin.
Yeah.
He was at NC State, but then he transferred to Wisconsin.
Okay.
Yeah, he was at NC State, and he had another year of eligibility, I believe, and he transferred to Wisconsin. This dude became team captain that summer. That speaks to how much he's able to command a room of young men, right? And then move on to be even so much so if they're saying he's a lame in the locker room, he still was able to win a championship in that particular setting for people to even come against him in his own locker room saying that he was a lame in the square, right? So it seems to me that Shannon has some ill intent towards Russell when he shouldn't, when he should be applauding Russell, because he literally applauded him. And the negative thing was, I wouldn't hang out with him. If anything, you should probably hang out with him and see how is it that he's able to get to where he's getting to. Because if you're in, we talk about this all the time, if you're in a room where everybody agrees with you, it's rare that you're going to grow. Last week, we disagreed. We here today, we talk about a different topic. Like, you know what I'm saying? And we learn from each other and we begin to get better as men and as people because we have our thoughts challenged. So if Shannon is saying, listen, I don't want to be in a room with Russell Wilson because he's not like me, then that, as Ricky said, that speaks more about him than it does about Russell Wilson.
And let me say this, right? And shout out to Gorilla, shout out to Jeffrey Manor. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think people need to understand and learn to understand what type of character it builds to go against the grain. Right? To not do what everybody else was doing. I think I told Gorilla this story, man. I grew up in a Jeffrey Manor. I was a neutral all my life. I used to get jumped because I wouldn't be folks. And to this day, can't no man make me do nothing I don't want to do. Nothing. I'm a square. I'm a L7. My favorite time to spend it is being at home playing Monopoly with my girl on Fridays. Right? So, what is y'all talking about? Right? Y'all, like, who y'all really being cool for? Y'all being cool for the homies? Or y'all being cool for your girl or yourself? Right? So again, ain't nobody saying and I said it earlier, I ain't saying he's the coolest guy at the table. I'm not saying that. But the simple fact that a dude would say something about a guy that's doing so many positive things in a public setting in his life should be questioned. Right? Not if this dude is a lame or not, because he ain't a lame to his kids. He ain't a lame to his girl. He ain't a lame to his community. And to be honest, if I'm gonna be honest with y'all, if he think anything like me, who gives a fuck what the fuck you think? Who gives a fuck? Y'all supposed to be moving like men out here, man. Y'all move like some bitches sometimes, bro.
Man, listen.
And let me go back to what Trill said. He was saying watch the movies until the credits. Well, the real squares are the names in the credits.
Facts.
Because they made the movie that the cool dudes are playing in. That's real shit.
No, let go. Not that the cool dudes are playing in. The cool dudes are the content. They may or may not be living off the residuals of their life story playing out on a big screen into perpetuity. But guess what? The guys in the credits, down to, what do they call it, Shan? The gaff. I don't even know what a gaff is. I just see it all the time. And I always wonder, what the hell is a gaff?
Gaffer. It's short for gaffer.
Right, gaffer. Right. Those guys are eating into perpetuity off of the cool dudes who were the dope boys, the gangbangers, drug dealers, who they based that movie off of. To your point, Lego, they based that movie off of, that you might not even be receiving residuals off of that, man. If you look at American Gangster, if you look at Frank Lucas talk about them doing that movie, Shan, you may remember this. The most excited that he got was that Denzel said if they win an Oscar, he'd buy Frank Lucas a Bentley. They didn't get the Oscar. The fact that Frank Lucas was so excited over that Bentley is what stumped me, because I'm like, why are you not thinking about residuals? Like, why you ain't thinking about royalties, or like, why you not thinking about that type of stuff? And he may have got hit with like one payday because they used his life story. Anyway, just to your point, Lego, I'm sure Shan can speak to it better than me, because he's a big time John Singleton Hollywood producer with 7 brands on the panel.
But you know what? If we talk about this movie a little bit, this movie that Trill and Mr. Letgo is talking about, Mr. Letgo even shared sometime in the past some of his previous experiences before he became a professional, right? Some of this hood success, man, and that's exactly what it is. It comes with things, social status. It comes with women, money, praise, power, influence, experiences. All of these things become addictive to the point to where you'll see some brothers go in jail and come out of jail and do the same thing. They're almost afraid to not have these things or to be seen without these things, because at some point, this is all they know how to do. And then it takes a lot for them to realize, those who are not being successful at it, that they're not being successful at it. We see rappers, there's a small percentage of some who actually lived the life in the past that they rap about. They actually are that small percentage that made it, at least so far, because sometimes we see them fall off after success. So to just separate yourself from that is a very, very difficult thing, especially if you don't know how to do anything else. So we know that there are going to be, and those guys are considered cool, is the point of the matter. I mean, in their world, in their sphere, I mean, they have all the respect, the attention. I mean, they are somebody, so to speak. And they will continue to do whatever it takes to try to win in that world. For some reason, we understand it a little bit better when it's in a negative space, or when it's in a poverty-stricken environment that maybe people are more accustomed to. Whereas Russell doesn't necessarily have to be that in order to be affirmed in his world. All he has to do is continue to do what it's required in order for him to be successful and be obsessed with that. So if we just take the different worlds and realize what it requires to win in each, you know, the sad part is that in the hood, success we know is short-lived. We know that in that movie, there are going to be many people who literally don't survive. There's going to be fathers who end up in jail or dead, and their children are going to end up without fathers or with stepfathers. There's a lot of people that lose. There's a lot of people that lose. So I think that when we try to at least use our influence in positive ways, even if what we're doing or how we live isn't necessarily the best impression to have on those who are coming up under us, we need people to say, and I think this does exist, but we need people to say to young brothers who were like college athletes like Trill, when you come home on break, don't hang here. Don't hang here. Because the reality is if you get caught with me at the wrong time, you could lose everything. And you one of the best that came out of this community. Not me, you really. You know what I mean? And so whatever our choices are, at the end of the day, we got to try to influence those who come behind us to not necessarily do what's cool. A veteran like Channing shouldn't be thinking that way. His age compared to Russell, there's a difference. Russell is still in the light. Channing, he's not relevant. Let's just be real. He's not really relevant in that way anymore.
Y'all keep saying Shannon. Channing.
He's not really
Channing.
Channing. Yeah.
Shan trying to disassociate himself far away from that shit.
Hey, I knew Shan was gonna say something in a minute.
But
I'm like, after the 10th Shannon, it's like, but go ahead, keep cooking, King.
So my point is, we need Channing to encourage Russell. You know what I'm saying? Encourage him. It doesn't really matter if he's a square. If we're going to be on a public platform, encourage a brother to keep winning. His job isn't to be you. His job is to be the best him. He's excelling. Don't hang here. Friday night with me ain't where you need to be if I'm cool at the end of the day. You be what you are. That's just my perspective.
All right. You guys just tuning in. Welcome to King Talk. Make sure you get them likes up. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We got some super chats.
JR, you know Channing is not on I Am Athlete podcast no more. I'm looking it up.
That's what I was saying to you.
Yeah, they got kicked off.
Yeah, that was with Brandon Marshall, right?
Yeah, Brandon Marshall and Ocho.
So is he on the pivot?
Yeah, he's on the pivot.
Yeah, he's on the pivot. Yeah.
Pivot. What's the pivot? That's a new show or new?
Yeah, that's him, Fred Taylor, and Ryan Clark. They separated from I Am Athlete and made the pivot. It's in the same vein, but it's just a different show.
Okay,
yeah,
I figured out.
This
All right,
show too. Yeah,
podcast beef.
P. Parker here. I love being an L7, not a snitch. It keeps the ninjas away. Doug Will, Mike Vick got real square after that dog incident.
Oh, he didn't.
Yeah, Mike. We know. The retired guy. Shout out to Rilla, B-Boy, and martial arts kept me popular and out of trouble. Very unlikely. Gentle. Place your bets on which of the two is more likely to end up broke. I guess we'll see what the future holds. Shelton Ward, street talk overpowers real talk in our communities, which is discouraging. Just like our women say, it's the excitement which discredits intelligence. Spencer Campbell, shout out to the panel for keeping it real. BZ, what's good, my guy? Salute Kings, just paying tribute. R. Cook 2486, do y'all think the narrative about Russell Wilson have something to do with him marrying a white woman?
Don't matter.
First, yeah.
Very unlikely. Who would have thought a lame could command the respect and be followed by the greatest athletes at the highest level in the world?
Shout out to you, Perry.
That's what I said.
Jason C, $20. Square, stand on your square. Just be you. Nobody's gonna love that person in the mirror but you. That's facts.
Listen.
You muted.
Thanks for the super chats. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Shout out to the sponsor, T Channel. 30% off alone, a free gift. That link is in the description. With that being said, it's time to get to the meat. We know the ladies like the meat, gentlemen. The ladies like the meat. We got some ladies in the. Let me see. Check the chat, see what they're saying. Usually when they love the meat, they put meat in the chat. Ladies, if you like the meat, man, put the meat in the chat. I know you guys laughing, man, but I think it was on Thursday. They was actually putting I didn't know they had meat emojis. I mean, they got all type of shit. There it is, right there. Oh shit! It's too late, man. It's too late.
Too early.
I started to say that, but it's really not. It's too late. With that being said, we often talk about stepfathers. I know we had conversations about step parents, which is what the topic is going to be about tonight. I am curious what you guys think about that, because there are a lot of talking points that circulate around where men should not be taking care of other men's children. But I'm taking a different spin with it, because I'm going to play this clip for you guys that says otherwise, giving a little bit more appreciation to the step parents and how important their role is when it comes to picking up the slack. So I do want to break this down. Let's do a little deep dive into it. On a thumbnail, I did have P. Diddy and Quincy, which is not his son, but from what I've been heard and reading, he's been taking care of him as he was his. Is that what you guys seen as well?
Yeah.
So, which plays a huge role in developing a man that
Short son.
Yeah.
Specifically, Albert Brown. Yeah.
So it seems like Diddy played a role in contributing to developing this man to be the man he is now. So I am curious again to get you guys' thoughts and views about it, because it seems like some people may push you shouldn't be taking care of other folks' kids, you know, like you're a good one. But is it a need for the step parents? How valuable are they? But let me go ahead and play this clip.
Stepdad got a tattoo of my name on it. That's hard. Bro, I ain't no dumb kid. In my mind, it's like, I know he's my stepdad.
Right.
While we're driving to the field,
Right.
I know he's my stepdad, but he's doing it anyway. I know he's my stepdad, but he picked me up from school. You know what I'm saying? But he bringing me to the doctor. I broke my toe. He brought me to the doctor. Like, you ain't got to do this. I am not your responsibility. But by him showing me that, it's like, when I met her, I fell in love with her.
Right.
I like her.
Right. Right.
Whatever she come with, that don't bother me. That don't bother me. And because it was so easy, and I remember my whole life being blessed with a stepdad, I'm like, first off, let me see how these little niggas. But they were some dope little kids, man. I stuck around, man.
All right. I want to say shout out to Quest too. I know Quest sent this to me. He said somebody had D in him and they wanted us to bring this up on King Talk. So Quest couldn't make it today. Shout out to my brother. Hope we see you next week. Hope the family, everybody is good. Let's talk about it, man. Let's talk about it. A step parent is so much more than just a parent. What are you guys' thoughts?
Well, I want to say this. Being a step parent is a beautiful thing. I've dated women who have children, and one of my most memorable step parent just situations was I dated a woman who had a daughter and a son. And he was like, they was in the neighborhood and they loved playing football, right? And they loved playing Madden, right? And I would play Madden with them. And then we end up being outside, you know, throwing the football. It got to the point where we out there running routes. I'm up here telling him to play, and then somebody about to guard him. And we coming up with plays and everything. Next thing you know, I'm out there like running routes with other people. The whole next thing you know, it's like the whole neighborhood is out there playing football, you know, in the street. And it started off with just me and him, just me helping him. And his dad was in his life. And there was one time where we'll be throwing the football with each other. And if I drop the ball or if he dropped the ball, I might say, Kendall, you suck. Just something funny, right? And if I drop the ball, Aaron, you suck. And it was just our little thing to make each other better. For some reason, I don't know why, but his daddy took him to to the game, took him practice or whatever. He went to a game, he played a game, and he was terrible in that game. And he literally looked at his dad, and his dad was like, you sucked out there, Kendall. This boy went off on his dad and said, you don't have the right to tell me that I suck. And I'm like, wow, because I'm hearing this from the mom, because she was there. And she asked him like afterwards, like, why did you say that? And you know, there's no indictment on him. I was just around more because I was dating his mom. He said, the only person that can tell me I suck is Aaron, because he's out here throwing the football with me. I was like, wow. But shout out to the family. They still got love for me. You know what I mean? But golly, that right there had me like, wow. So that's a man.
Let go. They ain't got no love for you, man. They cussing you out right now for telling this story, man.
No, shout out. Hold on. Shout out to that real quick. The daughter and the son, I just thought about it. Both of them. They both personally, they both hit me up on Facebook. Both of them. They 4 years apart. The son invited me to his graduation, and then 4 years later, was it this year or last year? Last June, the daughter invited me to her graduation. I ain't been around them in like at least about 5 years, 6 years or something. She invited me to her graduation, and I'm sitting next to him while we watching the sister graduate. So I just forgot. I had to throw her in there too. So that was beautiful.
All right, go ahead, Shannon. That was you trying to talk.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Being a parent is a beautiful thing. But Mr. Lego, you said being a step parent, but you said you were dating his mom, right? So,
Yeah.
Lego,
yeah.
You wasn't a step parent.
Oh, yes, I was. I was dating her, but I looked at that as step parenting.
Okay, let me tell you. So I married,
but you know.
No, let me get. I married a woman with 2 kids. When I met her, her oldest was 10, and her other child was 8. When I married her, they were 13 and 11. I became a stepfather legally. Moved them into my home from their apartment. We talked earlier about the baby please era, the simp era, and then the music today, and the women that you got back then versus the women you get today. Today, by and large, it's a bad deal. I took the deal. My father became a step parent. My sister is older. My father has 5 children, 4 boys, and then me. I'm the last one. My mother had a daughter. My parents met at a New Year's Eve party in 1970. My father tried to mack my mom down. Took him till October of that year to finally go on a date with her. My mother had a 6-year-old daughter at the time. They got together and they made me. So he had kids already. She had a daughter already. Then they made me. My father became a stepfather in 1972 when I was born. Back in the day, becoming a stepfather was championed. Women rolled out the red carpet for a man to come in and be the stepfather to her children. If that guy that came in and said something, he had autonomy over her children that he didn't make himself. Listen to him. That's your daddy now. Wait till your father gets home. The Brady Bunch. It was championed to be a stepfather back in the day. Because if you said something, your woman would say, listen to him, because he the man of the house now. Listen to what he say. What he say, go. And that man took those kids in like their own, raised them as necessary. But today, and that's what I knew. That's all I knew. But today, brothers, let me tell you, it's a bad deal. Not only will you have struggle getting your woman in line, for you to tell your children something that belongs to her, you ain't my daddy, and she be standing right behind him. You ain't the daddy. Then the baby daddy come in and saying, don't tell my kids this, that, and the other. It's like, oh my God, what? And I'm thinking, what happened to the days of when it was growing? You were championed to be a stepdad. Today, 2022, it's a bad deal. Now, if you can get you a woman who will give you full autonomy, regardless of the stepfather who ain't around, regardless of the real daddy who ain't around, and let you be the man that you need to be so you can control the four walls in your home, and everything that goes on there is how you say go, and they live here, then this is how they rolls. But you don't get that deal no more. For some reason, it's just not happening. And it's not just me. It's fraternity brother. It's people that I talk to by and large that's saying, man, this shit ain't like it was back in 76. It ain't like it was back in 83. In 2015, 2020, 2022, you can't tell these kids nothing. You can't even buy nothing without going to calling their daddy saying, is it okay I get them a bike? I don't know if you feel safe with them riding the bike. I don't want, they got it. What kind of helmet? Oh, no, don't get my son that. I'll get it for him. You deal with, it's the shit that you deal with today is different than yesteryear. So I hear what you're saying. Being a step parent is a beautiful, being a parent is a beautiful thing. I'm a father. You guys, I think everybody up here is fathers. We know how parenting is a great thing, but being a step parent today, I wouldn't call it beautiful. And if you're dating somebody, you kind of a step boyfriend. But once you get into the trenches where you're legally bound to a motherfucker and they're living with you, and you have to feed them. It's one thing to take them to the ball game and root them on and all that. But once you feed them and you got to do homework with them and you got to raise them and you buying the next set of clothes that they just outgrew and you doing all these things, and then you turn around and don't have the authority to do a certain thing, that you be like, well, what do you do? This is how we roll over here. Well, no. Let me call his daddy and see what his daddy say. You be like, oh, hell no. It's a bad deal, in my personal opinion. So I'll let you guys, I don't know if any other stepfather, official marriage, Shannon, married. And is one of my best friends today, divorced, but still one of my best friends. And even after the divorce, I bought the kids cars. Ain't even my kids no more. I bought them because you end up loving these kids. The daddy didn't buy one. I bought them a car because, I watched them graduate now. She's 20 years old. But if you don't have autonomy over them kids and you don't really get that like you used to 30, 20 years ago, it becomes, we talk about peace and that's what we're looking for. Boy, you want to talk about a very uneasy, unpeaceful, to a degree, hostile environment. Marry a woman with children. Marry a woman, not date, not smash. Marry a woman with children and the father's still around. And even though they don't get along romantically and they're co-parenting, let me know how that goes. It's not going to go like it did back in 85. Go ahead.
I'm a step parent. Been one for 20 plus years, and I'm cool with it. The truth of the matter is, let's analyze why doesn't it work? That's the question. Why is it a bad deal? Because ain't none of these babies asked to be here. And I'm so glad all of you upstanding citizens in the chat had a 2-family home with your mama and daddy, raising you and your brothers and your sisters. Right? Because these babies didn't ask to be here. And when y'all sit and y'all come with this rhetoric of, oh, those not my kids, those kids grow up with the same problems and the same issues of the kids you knew that didn't have no parent in their life. Now, if it ain't for you, it ain't for you. Shit, some of y'all own kids ain't for you. Facts. Some of y'all own kids ain't for you. Right? But what did you do to deserve not having a father in your life? What did your baby mothers do for your child to deserve not to have a father in their life? But let's examine why it don't work, though. Let's examine why it doesn't work. Right? One, and y'all heard me say this before, and I'll say it again. Woman, if you got a man that's willing to take on you and your children, you should worship him like Jesus. He is your own personal Jesus. He is saving your fucking life. Not just your life, but the life of your children. If you don't get that, you dump her. You dump her. Because just like everybody says and knows, this is not your responsibility. So, again, examining it. Why does it not go? Why is it a bad deal for a man? Because one, the women don't set the stage correctly for their children. Because you feel that you're owed something that you're not. You don't have to be like me, J Red. Be better than me. Take care of your kids, nigga. I read the chat. Right? I'm not saying this for everybody, but what I'm saying is this, bruh. You shouldn't be disqualifying anybody if you don't know the entire ins and out of anybody's situation. Right? And again, who's going to raise these babies? Fuck your motherfucking feelings, nigga. Who gonna raise these babies? The one y'all keep talking about that's askew, that's a ride, that don't have no leadership. You supposed to be a man, right? Hell, you don't even mentor no kids. When I say I raise kids that's not mine, I include my wife's kids and kids in the neighborhood. Kids that had crackheads for a mother that can come and stay at my house. Right? Kids whose father who went in jail for drug dealing because nobody else would do it. Because you know why? I really care about my people. You know what I'm saying? Y'all motherfuckers really ain't shit. Y'all really just care about y'all and the perception of what y'all put out there. The very thing that keep our culture going, y'all like, fuck them. The very thing that keep our people and the population of our people going, oh, fuck them. Like I said before, y'all motherfuckers selfish. Just say it and shut the fuck up. All this sad talking and ass shit, shut the fuck up, bro. You selfish. It don't matter if it's thankless. Some shit you got to do because it got to be done. And it ain't for everybody, bro. But if it ain't for you, shut the fuck up. Who gonna take care of these babies? Who? So your little nappy head ass kid out here robbing the next motherfucker. Who? Selfish ass niggas, man. And y'all wonder why we can't get no fucking where. Selfish ass niggas.
Yo, I gotta come back in, man. Shannon, I know that you had your experience or whatever, but to just turn around and say it's a bad deal is hurtful to our community. Because some dude might be dating a woman right now and everything may be going good and can hear you say doing this is a bad deal, and that'll make him be like, you know what? I don't want to do that. They get a one argument and remember what you said and turn around and say, all right, I'm out of here. Because at the end of the day, your situation ain't like everybody's situation. It ain't like nobody's going to school to be a terrible wife, terrible girlfriend, terrible whatever. Some women are trash. Some kids are trash, some whatever, we trash. Some men are trash. So it just depends on how the dynamic is between the mother and the child and the father and the child. And you and the child. So to say it's a bad deal, it's hurtful to our community because, like I said, there are men in this chat and there are women in this chat that are dating each other, somebody, and somebody has a kid. Well, the dude has a kid and the girl don't, or the girl has a kid and he don't, or whatever. They both have kids. So to just put out a blanket statement saying, hey, it's a bad deal, it's hurtful to us as a community, and we got to stop this shit. It's really destructive. All this YouTube bullshit about single mothers, this single mother. Who, like Ricky said, who the fuck is going to take care of these goddamn babies? I am proud because you said I'm a stepdad. I actually have my first girlfriend before I got married. I didn't marry her. Her daughter, to this day, still calls me daddy. And I dated her when I was like 16. So just imagine what type of influence I had on her when she was 4 years old for her to still call me daddy 20-some years ago. I totally disagree with that shit. We got to do better as men, man. Just like Ricky said, man. Y'all niggas are selfish, and it's bullshit.
Selfish is okay with me, in part and parcel of and I get it. She called you daddy and whatnot, but you didn't raise her, and I know how it feels, fellas. I get it, and I don't mind being the only one up here. I'm telling you, it's a bad deal. And how's that gotten us so far? See, we always talk about possibilities, and what this is possible. I'm talking about
how's it gotten them so far. It's
no, how's it gotten us? Look at the community. Look at the sad state of disregard of our community currently. It's almost like, well, you know what? These women fucked up, so guys, come and be the cleanup guy. I don't want men to be the cleanup man no more. We've been the cleanup motherfuckers for too long, and it ain't got us nowhere. And it's not even respected, or there's no, you don't get no love for it. What's the upside to say, oh, well, I took care of these kids and she ain't shit and she don't give a fuck about me and she's doing all this and she's out here being reckless with her womb, but I'll be the cleanup guy so I can save the fucking community. No, go get back with the baby daddy. That's what you do. Go find a baby daddy and be more agreeable to that motherfucker. Oh, well, he ain't shit. Well, according to women, none of us is shit. All of us ain't shit niggas. All of us on this panel, everybody in the chat, all black men ain't shit, according to them. But when you dig down into it, damn, it's a lot of good brothers out here. And there's a lot of brothers that really want to be there with their kids, but they can't be because she's holding the motherfucker back and using the government, which Mr. Let Go, as the new baby daddy. We can't fight him. So no, it's a bad deal. It's a bad deal. I want men to have dick discipline. I don't want them out there making these babies, but you know what? We by and large don't. It's a small percentage of motherfuckers that's making these babies. They having babies with the same niggas. And you want us, people like Trill, to take these babies in? No, them days are over. And if I have anything to say about it, I want all the men to make sure they know, including the one that's dating the girl that you said is listening to the show, to know it's a bad deal, because the probability of what happened to me is higher than the possibility of what happened 30 years ago. If the possibility was the same, I wouldn't be here. I did it. I'm not telling you what I know. I'm not telling you what I heard. I'm telling you what I know. I'm glad it worked out for Ricky. I don't know the situation with Ricky. I don't know where his stepdaughter or son's real father was, if he was gone, or if he was around. I'm simply saying today, 2022, based on the mindset of the baby mamas and the ones that are making bad decisions and having these kids in our community, with 70% of the single mother homes, and is looking for a cleanup guy to come in after she did her hot girl summer for 10 years, and during her 20s, is now looking for a King Rio to come in and say, you know, I've always liked you. Hey, big head. Yeah, I got Pookie's baby, but hey, big head. No, hell no, Rio, stay away. It's a bad deal. Trust me. Because what you think you're going to get, because you watched your daddy get it back in 85, you ain't going to get in 2025. But that's just my truth.
I got a question for you, brothers, man. I've been trying to hold this question, but I need answers. So I know we're looking at it from the angle that stepfathers come into the picture because whatever happened to separate the man from his household happened, and then he became a deadbeat. Okay, what about the situations to where we actually have real and active fathers who the relationship didn't work out with the mothers, and they divorced or whatever happened, and they are still active participants in the raising of their children? What about them? So my question, and I believe some of the brothers, I don't know on this panel, but at least know on the network, and I'm sure in the chat, it's a real thing for active fathers to divorce and still be active fathers, just in a different household. In fact, some people even have split custody agreements. So for the men who have been divorced, don't you still expect to have the final say over all things involving your child, your biological child? Or do you just relinquish that because you're no longer with the mother? Like, how does that work?
No, I think
Shannon does. That's me.
Yeah, I think Shannon does, but the state of Georgia didn't agree with me. So go ahead. Go ahead, Shan.
No, I'm just saying, go ahead. You can go. I'm just saying he just described me. I got two sons.
Yeah, no.
I just wanted that part of it. So Shannon, speak to that part of the experience. I know the side of you being a stepfather, but what's the side of you actually being a biological father, still fathering your child? If they were to
That's me. I married my wife and we had two more kids. Now my sons are here.
Do they have
divorced?
Do they have a stepfather?
I got last say so. I don't give a fuck who come around.
But wait,
I don't give a fuck who come around.
Man.
That's all I wanted to know.
No. Hold on, Rio, because you asked a pertinent question. And when it's funny because I was speaking with somebody the other day, and I was, they said, man, D, when you be on them panels, man, you be speaking about the accolades of your kids, and it's just funny how everybody gloss over that. Right? And I was like, I peep it, but it's cool. Shan, you have spoke numerous times, and maybe Rio didn't catch, because one of the things that I said on the panel was I chose. Right. So can you expound on why you're in the situation that you are in with your two boys?
Well, one thing I just wanted to correct there, really. The reason why I asked Shannon that question is because Shan said the fact that he is essentially running the household, and she says that, well, I got to run this by his father. He said that that's bullshit.
No, it's not bullshit.
You didn't say bullshit, but you're just saying that's a bad deal. right?
I said it's a bad deal. It's not bullshit. I understand it. I understand why. Yeah, I understand running, but for the stepdad, fuck. If likely now I'm that guy, run that through me. But whoever's coming around, fuck, it's a bad deal for you, bruh. I'm not saying that's bullshit. I'm just saying it's a bad deal for the guy that takes that on because he got to deal with Shan now. I get it. I'm not saying, listen, it is what it is. I'm simply saying that I'm simply saying that for the guy that takes on a baby mother and the father is, especially when it's one thing if the dad passes away or the dad is a crackhead or he's in prison or he just fucking abandons, then you know what? You're probably going to get that respect that I was talking about from the 80s because that woman don't got nobody around. It ain't nobody around. You know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of men out there that's in their children's lives or trying to be or doing whatever the fuck they can. I just wanted to
highlight that. Yeah.
Yes, it's a lot of men that's around. See, they don't talk about those dudes. Well, all we talk about, if you leave it up to women, all niggas ain't shit and all the men left. He just left me. He just left. That motherfucker outside, he being Mrs. Doubtfire like a motherfucker, trying to get to his kids, standing across the street, watching his children.
That's a good one.
You know what I'm saying? Watching his kids and shit, fucking just play in the school play yard, trying to not look like a predator, but he just wants to see us. That's what's happening. And so that guy who's in the child's life or whatever, which is to me, by and large, is the bad deal guy. Is the reason why it's a bad deal for the dude that's dating the baby mom, because he's around, he got to deal with that shit, and there's no autonomy there. So it just depends, man. It's a really shitty situation. That's why we just need to be fucking more careful. What I want to do is play a reset. I think Mr. Let Go talked about this one. We need a goddamn reset. And for those that just fucking made a bad decision, I'm sorry. But fuck, when do we can't save everybody, man. We just got to say, yo, ladies, stop having fucking kids. Men, stop fucking being reckless with your dick. Get your shit together, ladies, protect your womb, and let's have a reset in our community so our stats in the 10 years from now can reflect that. But if we keep making these same shitty decisions and this vicious cycle keeps happening, then goddamn, when do we fix anything? And so if I'm hurting some current relationships, then then I'm looking at her. Now, if it's a situation where she's a widow or something like that, then there's circumstances, but that ain't what we're talking about. We ain't talking about those. That's almost like, well, when I talk to people about being fat, well, what if I have a thyroid issue? Oh, really? I ain't talking about the 1.8% of fat people. I'm talking about the 98% of motherfuckers that eat too much chicken. I'm talking about the ones that's out there fucking niggas and having unprotected sex and just getting and then looking at Plan B and abortions. And deleting kids as their contraceptive. No, I'm talking about them. Sorry, you did that. Deal with it. Now let's save the ones that we could save. That's all I'm saying.
All right, let me get Trill in here, and then I'll let Ricky respond, and then go to Humble Dad.
Hey man, first I just want to say, man, I don't think I ever heard Shan raise his voice like that. Y'all got my dog in his bag today. I love to see it though. I ain't gonna lie to you. In terms of how I feel about the whole stepdaddy thing, man, I think it's hard to kind of take a hard stance because that ain't really my experience. But I will say, it all depends on how the situation is set up. Is it a bad deal? Sure, but I agree with Ricky and Mr. Lego as well. It's like, okay, am I gonna turn down a great woman just based on that situation if she has the proper infrastructure to where we can continue this shit and roll into what it could be? So again, it kind of depends on the woman. But I will say most women don't necessarily have that infrastructure set up. So if we're gonna play percentages, then the percentage of me running into a woman like that is just not high. But you won't know until you meet the woman. So again, I'm a little on the fence about this, man, to be honest. But would I turn, like, hypothetically speaking, especially me now, I have a kid, right? So I don't believe that I could demand some shit that I can't bring to the table, right? So if we so happy me and my old lady break up, which will never fucking happen, but we just gonna throw the hypothetical out there. I wouldn't even feel right demanding a woman has no kids if I bring a kid into the situation. It's just not, that's not how I'm cut. But again, I think infrastructure is very, very important here. Like, how is this situation set up? How much, authority am I going to have coming into the situation? Because I feel like that's the main issue with, stepdads and, terms of like what they got to face when they get in there. A lot of times they'll get their knees cut out from under them on one end when it comes to setting the rules, when it comes to discipline, when it comes to these things. But on the opposite end, you want me to provide like his daddy, though. You want me to pay for Pee-wee practice. You want me to pay for his, the event he got to do at school. You want me to pay the rent there. You want me to buy him school clothes and school supplies when it's time for shit to come around, right? But if he running around here acting a fool and I just sit your little ass down somewhere and then you jump head first, whoa, don't talk to my baby like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's not your kid, right? Because women are petty enough to say things like that. We know how emotional women are. And logic goes completely out of the window when they in their emotions. And what gets a woman in her emotions more than a kid of her own? So as a stepdad, you literally got to run in there taking bullets until you quote unquote earn your place. And a lot of times, even after you earn it, you may still get the short end of the stick. Because, and again, this is speaking on somebody that wrote into our show. They was dealing with this. This is a dude, right, that met his woman, married her when the kid was 5 years old. This girl, he raised her all the way from 5 to 18. And she getting ready to get married, right? So, they, of course, he's the active dad, right? Now, mind you, her biological had been out the picture this whole time. May have seen her once or twice in 12 to 13 years.
Don't say what I think you're going to say. At the wedding. Don't you dare.
Look, this is God's honest truth. If y'all follow Cool Season, y'all know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. Right? So it come down to the wedding. He get the cost of it. Big ass number, of course. But again, he's the active dad. So it's like, look, I got it. Whatever my baby wants, she gets. Right? So he goes to pay on this shit. And I think he paid either half or 75% of the costs. And then all of a sudden, her biological dad comes back into the picture, wanting to repair the relationship, right? And as a child, of course, the curiosity is there. That's my dad. Like, I want to go out on a date with, he coming to pick up from the crib. And again, he's doing it in a respectful way. He's not coming in just trying to bogart the situation. But, he's slowly infiltrating back into the system. He coming in, taking his daughter for dates. He coming, hey, you can come stay with me for the weekend. He's building this relationship up right around the time of his marriage, right? To where, he done built it up so much to where she tells her mama and the stepdad, hey, I want my real dad to walk me down the aisle.
Oh, you said it. Goddamn.
Right? So the stepdad, of course, is furious. Like, what the fuck? What? Like, you really? This is, now mind you, this man had paid for the whole wedding. Biological dad ain't put a fucking dime.
And been there 15 years.
Ain't been there in 12, 13 years. But just because he done came around and showed you 5 to 6 good months, and because that's your biological dad, you want to walk with him down the aisle. So now, as a man, that puts him in a fucked up spot. Because it's like, do I go off on the kid and fuck up her day? Like this not about me. But at the same time, I'm your daddy. If we're gonna be real, fuck the biological. I raised you. That nigga ain't been.
This is her day, bro.
Years, but he coming in with 6 months of trying to get shit back right, and now you want him to get the highest fucking honor a dad could get, handing your daughter away to the man that she's gonna be with for the rest of her life, and he's supposed to just take that to the chin.
And
right,
so
it's her day.
Right there we go, which is just what I was about to get to. So he goes to the mama and voices his grievance. It's like, really, you gonna let dude come in and be da da da? And the mama say, look, it's her day.
Oh God,
whatever she wants. Da 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 da. So he gets mad at the mama. It's like, okay, well, if he's gonna come back in, then give me my money back that I put up for it and have him go in on it and pay for some of that wedding. They get mad at him. She breaks up with him. and bans him from said wedding. Real life situation. I'm not and again, if you follow Cool Season, you know I'm not capping. We don't cap in advice call. Niggas write in, this is what my situation is. Right. So that's one of the risks of it in terms of like getting your knees cut out from under you. And if you complain, you the bad guy.
Bad
so that's
deal.
what dudes gotta deal with, bro.
It goes back to what Ricky said. Y'all niggas is selfish. Y'all would have take over the damn girl wedding. You ain't getting married. She getting married. Who gives a shit who walks her down the aisle? I can understand that you want to walk her down the aisle, but at the end of the day, like two people are forming a family. That means there's a whole group of people that's about to be a part of your family. This whole thing is about family. You do this, they do that. It's about roles. And if this man wants to come back in her life, that's a good thing. If they're building a relationship, that's a good thing. See, we got to look at this whole thing as family. I look at my ex-wife as family. We still talk to her to this day. Like, we still good. We all are family. She got a whole husband. But at the end of the day, we all are still
let me
family.
ask a question real quick.
Mr. Let Go. Let me throw this out to him.
Hold on. Shan, hold on. Hold that thought real quick.
I can't hold it because it's pertinent to what he's saying. You know I don't do this.
Okay. Go ahead and say it, but then we got to go to Humble Dad. Humble Dad was next,
Let me throw my wild card because I only get one per year. Mr. Let Go. He didn't say, fuck that. He said, okay, no problem. Let me have my money back. He said, okay.
No.
He said, okay, you got it. You cover the bill.
No, the answer is no.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Humble Dad.
But like you was going the same vein that I was going to. I was just gonna ask Mr.
What the hell is some
Let Go.
money? Go ahead.
I was just gonna ask Mr. Let Go. This simply says to me that you pay for every meal when people go out and you don't eat yourself. Is that what you're saying? Like, because the dad is
hold on, what?
Like, you pay for everybody's meal and then don't eat.
I'm confused. Can you give me I don't understand what you're saying.
So the stepdad is paying for the wedding.
Yeah.
And the most prestigious thing to do is to give the daughter away.
Okay.
So he pays for a wedding, but doesn't get to do the most honorable thing that a man could do for a daughter. And you're saying, give that up. You're saying that you would pay for everybody's to eat.
I paid for it already. So if I paid for it already, yes. If I didn't pay it all and it wasn't an agreement, I might not raise my hand. But if it's paid, that's all I'm saying.
It's paid for, so this is what I'm saying. If it's paid for, then I should have that honor. Okay. If I paid for it, and we're going to disagree for sure, but I'm going to explain to you. Okay. Anytime somebody pays for something, they're expecting to receive what it is that they paid for, right? Now, part of this wedding situation is it's his daughter. If he didn't feel like he was her daughter, if he didn't feel like she was his daughter, he would not be paying for the wedding, right? Like people not gonna go to no woman and say we finna pay for your wedding, right? It would have to be something catastrophic possibly to happen for that to be a thing. So what I'm saying is the person that you're aligning selfishness with is the wrong person. It's the biological dad that is being selfish to even want that as an honor when he did not even put in to, other than seed, he didn't put into her becoming the woman that she had aspired to be or she has become.
Didn't the daughter want the honor?
So what?
Did the daughter say she wanted him to walk down the aisle?
She wanted him to walk down the aisle, but
okay, then. So
that as a man, even if she come to me and say, "Daddy, I would like for you to walk down the aisle," I'm gonna say, "No, I don't deserve that right."
Right.
Let that man who raised you walk you down the aisle.
That could be a conversation.
Build our relationship on the back end of that, but he didn't say that. He
at the end of the
down the
day,
aisle.
if she wants him to walk down the aisle, she's gonna have her goddamn day. If you love the damn daughter,
right? But then what I'm saying is she can do that. Is what I'm saying. I got you, Ricky. What I'm saying is he has invested all of himself to raise her and to get this honor taken away Okay, he came back into life. He said, okay, well then why don't they pay for the wedding? Right? That's a reasonable and logical explanation. For me, I don't understand how you don't get that, right? And let me just get this point off because we're not gonna agree. Step parenting, I one of the greatest in my opinion step parents was Joseph. You know what I'm saying? Because he took on being Jesus' stepfather, basically, right? And he was about to leave, right? Joseph was like, listen, you got another man's kid, I'm gonna be dipping, right? But then the situation changed where he was like, Angel came to him and said, no, this is something that needs to happen, right? That there needs to be a 2-parent household to raise Jesus, right? And it's not like it couldn't have been where Mary just raised Jesus by herself, but the alignment was no, there needs to be a 2-parent household. Now, is it a bad deal? It would be a bad deal if Mary wasn't going to be submissive to Joseph's authority. But Mary was submissive to Joseph's authority. And you're saying in this day and age, I have no idea all the women that are having this situation, but I'm gonna just rock with what you're saying. Then, man, if you come into contact with a woman that has kids, and like Ricky said, if she is not willing to submit the authority to you, then you got to say, I'm out of here, because the alignment is out of whack. The man in the relationship is always supposed to take lead. And I would disagree with Shannon. Shannon, you gave up, or y'all gave up that right to be. If she says that I am now marrying this dude, he's the lead, right? The dude is the lead. So how is it that now you're going to say, yes, I believe that you're the lead in that household, but you don't have the leadership in my over my kids? You follow me? So that's
my custody is. I'm a different. My situation is different. So, but I hear what you're saying. By and large, you are absolutely right. That new husband should have autonomy.
And
my situation is different.
That's fair. I'm sorry, I'm long-winded because this is in my wheelhouse for sure. I have several situations in this, and I've interviewed a lot of stepdads as well. I know a dude that currently the lady has 3 kids, right? And people were telling him not to be in the relationship. He don't have no kids, right? However, because of who she is, of being a submissive woman, at most of the time, I would say that she presented qualities that he liked specifically to him, and as a result, he ended up marrying her. Okay. So everybody needs to look at you. What is that you like? What is it that you're okay with? And not necessarily listen. We're giving you generalities, but at the end of the day, what type of woman do you want? And as Trill said, he always dropping jewels. Like, are you willing to let the woman in your life go because she got kids if she gives you everything else? Because the lady that I'm with love my kids. When I told her that I had 4 kids, she was like, I'm out, she would have missed out on a good dude, because that's what I am. You feel me? And so what I'm saying is, I would have missed out on a good woman because she has a kid. I was like, well, I don't want no one with kids, so I'm not gonna be with you. Well, I would have missed out on a good woman. So at the end of the day, young people or older people, what is it that you want? Don't confine yourself to say, well, what is YouTube saying, and I got to do that. My bad. I relinquished the mic.
Oh, I go ahead, Ricky. Go ahead. You about to say? Go ahead.
And I want to speak on the wedding thing, right? So I completely agree that the stepfather should be able to walk the child down the aisle. I agree with that, because I took care of it and I raised my daughter financially, but she's in Georgia and I'm in Minnesota, so I wasn't there every day. But her stepfather was. I paid for the majority. Me and my wife paid for the majority of my daughter's wedding, and her stepfather walked her down the aisle. That's respect. When I met that man, I shook him and gave him a hug and said, "Thank you for being there, bro," because I wasn't there. Right? So that's just facts. How it should have been handled. Again, the mother should have been on point. Right? The mother should have been on point. I understand it's her day, but if it's your day, that means you pay the freight for it. If it's your day, that means you pay the freight for it. Right? You're not gonna get that. You ain't gonna get that one off on me. That's just the way it go. But this, and again, to reiterate to what I said to y'all, you can't disqualify. If you choose to, that's on you. Knock yourself out. But let's break it down, right? All these dudes keep saying all these women is trash. How many of those women don't have no kids? How many good women don't have children? Right? Every situation with a woman because she got kids and the dude's not there wasn't her fault. Yeah, her getting pregnant was her fault. Right? But the dude leaving or the dude being what she didn't think she was or what she thought he was or what she bought into his what we be saying, Trill, his potential, right? She bought into his potential. That don't make her a bad woman. Right? But it's just like I said, why is it that y'all make a single mother but won't take care of one? Y'all make her a baby mama, but then go back out there and say, I don't want somebody that's not a baby's mama. It's a question. Y'all asking for shit y'all don't really want. Y'all say y'all want good girls, but no, y'all don't. Y'all want the single girls that's hot girling out here and ain't got no kids and on the CC. That's what y'all want. But the same way as dudes out here with kids and we've been in bad relationships and got done dirty, it's the same way as good women out here that been in bad relationships and got done dirty. You just think you better than them.
You know, I gotta say, I'm feeling it, you know, in my spirit for Mr. Lego's previous stepchild, as he referred, and I think that was from an place of affection, you know what I mean, and endearment. Because I think that incident that happened at the game had a lot to do with, I think children want their fathers to be active and present. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of the relationship and the dynamic of family, they want their fathers to be active and present. And he's like, if I suck, I'll take that from someone who helps me, who's developing me, who's putting forth time and effort to help me be better. And it's you who's showing up to the game, but never at any practice, who has a say. See, if I'm winning, you're going to say, that's my son. I'm out there sucking, and you're going to say I suck. Wait a minute. You didn't earn that. You didn't earn that. I think we need to be a little bit more possessive about our children, our seed. Yeah, if she remarries, he is the head of the household. Whoever's in that household ought to fall in line. However, when it comes to the growth and development of your seed, I don't care where you live. Don't get lax on your efforts because he runs the household that your child primarily resides. It's your seed. The less effort you put in the growth and development, you are essentially abandoning your seed and putting it in the hands of another grower. You're doing that. Try harder. This goes for all of us dads. Some people in the chat right now ain't throwing a ball with our boys. Shit, sometimes I got to remind myself, stop. Take a minute. Go outside. Throw the ball. So, hey, if we're going to be accountable, we ain't just going to preach to the right and the authority of the stepdads. Let's talk about how we can be better growers of our seed regardless of where we reside. I don't care if you got to drive 1,000 miles. Go grow your seed. or don't sit at no table with me, period. Mr. Let Go, I wouldn't have been mad at you if you'd have punched him in his face. Facts. I wouldn't have been mad.
Hold on, punch who in the face? What situation? What you mean?
The father of the kid who you were helping to grow within.
Oh no,
the one that said he sucked.
The one he said he sucked.
That was between him and his father. They had to beef. I was straight.
I understand. I'm just saying I wouldn't have been mad. You feel me? Because when you said it, it bothered me. I didn't know the child. See what I'm saying? As a father.
But he was playing his role though. His role was to take him to the football games. He was, he took them to practice. We was just doing preliminary stuff. So he,
that's his role too.
The coach was doing practice.
Wait a minute.
And then he was at the game, and I didn't go to the games because that was a father's thing. So we just played roles.
No, his role was to grow his seed and help his son develop and be better and set him up for success. His son is upset because you're not helping me grow, but you're criticizing because I'm not growing.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, this grower that has no responsibility to me, he's not even married to my mother. He's stepping in when you're not there.
Yeah.
Don't talk to me about my performance. You haven't helped.
You haven't helped. I agree with that. I agree. But let me say this. The thing that y'all don't understand, and it's okay, and this could just be me. I've spent $15,000 on dumb shit. So $15,000 for a young girl that I love, because in this situation, that's his daughter. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. As long as you're happy, I'm good. I don't spend $15,000 on dumb shit. I lost $60,000 on crypto. I don't give a fuck about no damn wedding. If that's what they want to do what you do. Because that $15,000 I just spent is for somebody's life to grow, for somebody to start a family. Because she married a dude, so that means she has a husband. She's gonna have kids. So I helped into the growth of this family. I don't give a damn who walks her down the aisle. I ain't got the wedding dress on. I'm not gonna walk. Well, I want to walk down the aisle too. Why not me? I ain't got no damn wedding dress on. I ain't no goddamn bride. I don't spend $15,000 on way more dumb shit than making sure my daughter, stepdaughter, or whatever you want to call it, walks down the aisle to her husband, and it's because of me. So y'all can say what y'all want to, but y'all niggas selfish. That's all I can say.
Well, see, look though.
How much you spend on that chain? Let go.
Huh?
That chain. You spend $15,000 on that chain?
No, this chain wasn't $15,000.
You let go $15,000 on that chain? Go ahead, Trill. My bad, bro.
No, it's all good, man. But again, just speaking of what Mr. Lego was saying, I would agree in terms of the money, but I think in that situation, it ain't about the money. It's about the respect. You know what I'm saying? That's just like if I got a homeboy, right, and we kicking it every day, and he bought my crib, and I got $10 in my damn cup holder on my dining room table or something, and then the $10 is missing. Fuck the 10. You supposed to be my boy. We done been through this together, and you thought to steal from me before you came to ask me for the money. Fuck the money. It's the respect situation. So again,
so the daughter stole something from him, in your opinion? In your scenario, who stole they $10? Did you steal that shine? What did this little innocent girl? What did she steal from who?
The daughter stole, the mama stole, and the real daddy stole. That's
how?
Who stole from me. Because again, I'm the one putting the time, effort, energy, and resources into this household. Clearly, because I'm paying for the wedding by my fucking self. Right now, if we in a situation where the mama is paying some of the wedding, you're 1,000% right. Hey, if you want to let that man come in on your situation, cool. But I'm paying for all this. I'm paying the bills. I'm paying the mortgage. I'm paying the electric. That phone that you using to talk to that deadbeat ass nigga, I pay the bill on. So again, it's about respect for me. So for you to go through all that, and then like I said, understanding the fact that is the most precious thing that a man can do for his daughter. Literally. You're handing her to the man she's gonna spend for the rest of her life. And this nigga, who's a deadbeat, come in 13 years later, be around for 6 months, and I'm just supposed to just take a back seat to this nigga?
Yes.
No, that is an issue. So, and again, fuck it. Let's just say that I'm cool with that. Give me the money that I put up for the wedding. And since you coming in 6 months, Superman and all type of shit, and the mama, it's her day, y'all two collab on it together. Y'all the two motherfuckers that had her. So why is my money important? If my respect is not important, then why does my commitment of resources so important to this situation? If you could explain that to me, then I'll concede. But the fact is that he's a deadbeat. Your ass is just terrible at fucking decision making. And y'all collaborated to have this kid, and now I'm paying for all this shit on the back end. So again, if my respect is not important, how the fuck is my money important in that scenario? Why can't y'all tag team as a biological parent and pay for that shit?
The simple fact that the mother
ain't nobody put conditions on the $15,000
is the problem I have. It doesn't matter if it was $100 fucking dollars, bro. It doesn't matter if it was 100 or 1,000,000. The point is that, again, the mother was supposed to advocate for the father, not make him the bad guy. I understand what you're saying if it's the choice of the daughter. She makes the ultimate choice. She does, right? And that's something she'll have to take up with him. But the mother making him the bad guy, that's the part, like I said, but for me to look at that at this
Hold on, what part, Ricky?
Hold on.
She made him a bad guy. What are you talking about? What part?
She makes the mother made the stepdad a bad guy for saying he want to take the stepdaughter down the aisle. That's bogus. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And what I'm saying is this, right? But we can't. If I'm looking at this situation, right? Because nothing just pop up out the blue. Right? So it had to be something down the line where she was already getting those things like, hey, you ain't my daddy, and all this shit. That's when he's supposed to cut that shit off especially if his wife wasn't checking that shit. Right? He's supposed to cut that shit off at the knees. Cut it off at the knees. In case y'all didn't hear what I said. Right? Wrong one. Nope. Did you hear what I said? There you go. Right? In case y'all didn't hear what I said that woman's supposed to worship you like Jesus. When she sit down and she lay her head down to go to bed, bro, and she pray, I want to thank God for my husband and I want to thank Jesus Christ. And if she don't do that, cut her off. Cut her the fuck off, bro. Because no matter what nobody say, you saving her life, bro. You taking your life and you pushing into her, bro. You pushing into her children that you have no responsibility to. Children you volunteer to take care of. The problem is that ladies, when y'all like they keep saying, it's a bad deal. It's a bad deal because y'all don't set the stage. Y'all don't set the standard for y'all children. And the reason why y'all don't do it is because y'all don't respect the man. And if that's the case, take your ass back to your baby daddy. And y'all work it out however y'all want to do it with y'all 10-year, with y'all 15-year engagements and shit. Or better yet, fix it and just stay with your baby's mother. Oh, y'all can't do that though, right? Like I said, if it's not for you, that's cool, bro. These babies ain't got shit to do with it. If it's not you, it's cool. Shut the fuck up and don't do it.
Yeah, that's at the end of the day, that's all I'm getting at, man. Is just, that is a role, like I said earlier, where you got to take bullets walking into it. You're not gonna get the proper respect you deserve, and at the end of the day, you deserve a shitload of respect, because just like old boy said in the video, my stepdad didn't have to do none of this shit. I'm not his responsibility, but he did it. Took me to practice every day, took me to school, sat down at that table, worked out math problems with me, showed me how to do this, showed me how to dress, showed me how to fight, showed me how I'm supposed to, navigate within this world. And then whenever y'all feel like it, you could just cut that man's knees off from under him. That is crazy to me. And then if he complains, he's the bad guy. it's like, fuck, like what, like, how, you know, again, I understand, like, as a man, like, we gonna take shorts in life. And I mean, that's just part of the game. It could be your kid living in, you know, you in a relationship, just period. We gonna take shorts. But where do we draw the fucking line? Like some things, and especially with the disciplinarian aspect, which is what I led with. Again, and when we say that, oh, why y'all want to fight so hard to whoop kids? It ain't about whooping the kid. That is not what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm talking about setting the guideline for how this house is gonna run. So, because when I came into this shit, your kid running around, his clothes all over the city, toys, throwing them at the TV, all type of shit, and you just letting it ride. But anybody say something to your kid, no, don't talk to my baby like that. I don't whoop my kid, or I don't talk loud to my kid. I don't talk aggressive to my kid. And it's just like, okay, so as the man here, right? So you want me to come in with my Superman cape? You want me to pay the mortgage, pay for the TV that he throwing the kids at, pay for the couch that he jumping on and fucking up, spilling food on, pay for the walls that he fucking up.
You pay for that food.
But then if I try to implement any kind of infrastructure here, I'm the bad guy for doing it, because that's not your kid at the end of the day. And this is another thing that's not spoken on. And I got to say this before this topic closes. You know what's not factored in? The emotional trauma when that type of relationship ends. Let's just say, hypothetically speaking, in that marriage scenario I gave, this man done raised that little girl for 13 fucking years. So when this situation is over, which I'm pretty sure after that, he probably left the mom, all type of shit, whatever. But, you know, and again, she's a grown woman, so that might be a bad example. But let's just drop the age down to like 14, 13. He raised her from birth to 13, 14. A kid that's not his. None of that. He stepped in, stand up nigga every day, doing what he had to do. And that relationship ends. But she gets a new man. Do you think that man's access is going to be the same to that kid? And do you know the psychological fucking trauma that's going to have on him? That I done raised this kid up for 13, 14 years. We done built this bond. She calling me daddy. It's all type of shit. She coming to me for whatever. But just because our relationship ended, and we ain't gonna sit here and act like women ain't this petty, because they fucking do this to the real dad. So let alone the stepdad. He done raised this kid, the relationship ends. Now you get a new man. I'm not just gonna be fucking welcome to come there whenever I want to just kick it with my kid that I raised for 13 years. No, what is she gonna say? You're not his daddy.
That happened to me.
I'm in a new relationship now. You got to respect that. You got to keep your distance. That is not your kid.
Didn't see the
so
sun
that
for
type of emotional trauma is hard on a man. Even though a lot of time we ain't gonna cop to it, we gonna act like everything. I ain't tripping, man. Fuck all that. I'm moving on, doing whatever. But when you building a relationship with these kids and you got to be away from your kids, again, I'm talking about the day-for-day dads. I ain't talking about the niggas that pop up every weekend, take you to the movie, you know, every other weekend. Sometimes skip a weekend when he posts a show. I ain't talking about them. I'm talking about the day-for-day dads in there changing diapers, in you know, reading to that baby every night, rubbing that baby when he got fevers and pneumonia and all type of shit like that, day for day, for 12, 13 years. And then when the relationship ends and you get a new nigga, I'm just supposed to just trail off to the sunset, no kind of psychological trauma, no nothing. Fuck it, the relationship over, that ain't my kid. Oh well, last 13 years of my life down the drain, bond, I made it down the drain. But that's the reality that 99% of men in those situations got to deal with. So again, that needs to be touched on as well. It's a rough situation. It's rough. And I think that's all Shan is speaking to. I don't think he's downing the idea of it, but just saying, hey, that deal, it's a lot more to lose in this situation than there is to gain. Because likelihood of that relationship lasting 30, 40 years is not high.
Low probability.
But in the process of that, you invested a lot of time, energy, and effort into not only that kid, but that household. But when this shit ends, I don't get no kind of dividends for it at all. I got to take it to the chin and keep it pushing. Why? Because that's not my kid. And that's fucked up.
But I got one question, and this might sound crazy. Why the hell do y'all want something back? This is a child that is growing. Our children or nobody else's children, they don't owe us shit. I either am going to raise my kids like I did, my kids are grown, or I'm going to play my role at raising my kids or somebody else's kids, whoever I'm with. It's a role. So I don't either internalize nothing, or I don't either look at it like you owe me something. See, parents, I talk this about, I say this about single mothers all the time. When a single mother gets older, in a lot of cases, that single mother ain't never gonna get married. She ain't never gonna have no man. And at some point, that child of the single mother is going to have to take care of that single mother when she gets old. And she's going to be like, I raised you, I did this, you owe me. And I think this, you owe me this, you owe me that type of shit is dysfunctional behavior when it comes to family. My kids don't owe me shit. I raise my kids. They could tell me, kiss my ass, I don't give a damn what you did, and I'll be totally okay with it. Of course, I'll be hurt, but at the end of the day, I did my job. I played my role. So with all that being said, I don't need shit. I'm not putting no damn wedding dress on and going down no goddamn aisle. Say my goddamn wedding. Hell, I care for it. And like I said, I spent $15,000 on dumber shit than a goddamn wedding for my child. So I wouldn't care. Now, of course, I would want it, but I'm not going to raise a hissy fit. I want to go down the aisle. This is my day. No, it's this damn little girl's day. Now, if the dad was like, no, everybody get out of the way. This is my child. That's a different story. The daughter said she wanted him to walk down the aisle. Not the baby mom, not the father. Play a role and stop trying to make everything about you. And that's the thing that I see that's so fucking selfish. It's not your fucking story. Every day we wake up, it's not our story. It's somebody else's fucking story. That's all I got.
You said, what do kids owe their parents? Nothing, right? They do owe them honor. And they do owe them respect. And even if you want to go biblically, it's all throughout the Bible, from Ephesians to Leviticus to Exodus. You know, honor your mother and your father so your days be long. Honor can be interchanged with respect, your mother and father. So if you feel that children don't have to respect the man that's been around for 13 years and pay for your wedding simply because he don't owe you shit, then to me, it's almost like you're breaking commandments. But I won't get too deep.
Did the Bible say something about honor the guy that paid for your wedding? Or did it say honor your mother and father? She's honoring her mother and father by letting her father walk down the freaking aisle. It says nothing in the Bible, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, that says honor the man that paid for your wedding.
No.
That nigga ain't her father. Let's establish that, because this word gets thrown around a lot.
For real. We talk about
this word gets thrown around a lot. Just because a nigga donated the sperm for you to be on this earth don't make him your father.
That's your daddy. That's your daddy.
And the fact is that in that situation, any nigga that would leave his child for 13 years is not a fucking father, nor is he a fucking man. If we're gonna be honest, he don't deserve no respect at all. He's just a nigga on the street, a stranger to me. It's what he should be if I'm in this situation. If I'm the dog.
Not to her. To you.
Sure.
To you.
Sure.
But not to her.
But we are quoting Bible, right? Father. He ain't that. That's a nigga on the street that just came back around. Let's call him what he is. You don't have to have the kid to be the kid's father. If I raised you from 6 months to 20, I'm your father. That's reality.
Let me say this: if we going biblical, and I don't want to do the whole super.
Nah, let's not go to church. I should.
But I'm saying if we do that, I got you. Shannon, you introduced this, but anyway,
I know.
The scripture records, train up a child in the way that he should go, and that when he's old, he'll not depart from it. But I'm listening to y'all talk, and the thing that comes back is Ricky said, "Hey man, if it ain't for you, it ain't for you. No big deal. Those of you that want to sign up for it, sign up for it. Shannon says it's a bad deal. This whole conversation has laid out from the rooter to the tutor. Hey, fam, it's a bad deal. It really is. And I would be remiss. I know, JR, we might need less people go and all this other stuff. I'm going to say this. Pops McNulty, I love my pops. The man that I call Pops is not my biological father. I think he got the bad end of a deal. I absolutely adore that man. Listen, hey, Shan, I adore that man. I love that man. I honor that man to this day. Him and my mother divorced when I was very young. My biological pops, probably could count on one hand how many times I've seen him. But Mr. McNulty stepped in. The Chicago Theater downtown, JR, on State Street, when they used to show movies there, took me to see Superman at that theater. Took me to see Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back.
The OG Superman with Christopher Reeve?
Yeah, the OG Superman, but it was the old. But Shannon, this was like, it's like the Fox Theater in Detroit. It's an old opera looking theater. It's a theater, like not a movie theater. It's like an opera looking theater. So they had the box seats and this. So it was a whole theatric thing to go see it there. And so after him and my mom's divorce, I remember our relationship being so tight that in high school, my senior year, when it was time for me to go on prom, and my grandma, Ricky and JR would know this, like in Chicago, it's a big thing to have your own car. Like you ain't trying to rent no limo. You trying to have your own car so you can move how you want to move prom weekend, so you can do what you need to do, get where you need to be, da-da-da-da. And my grandma wanted to rent me a limo. I ain't want a limo because that was just for that one night. I wanted something for the weekend. Pops McNulty made sure I had a car for that entire weekend, paid for it the whole 9. He's no longer with my mom. He didn't have to do anything for me. He was at my graduation, you know what I'm saying, my high school graduation. He paid for a lot of stuff that year because of our relationship, in spite of it being a bad deal. So to Ricky's point, you know what I'm saying? If you sign up for it, if it's for you and you willing to, you know, put in, cool. But to Shannon's point, which I agree with, it's a bad deal. It is. On face value, it's a bad deal, which is why I don't take it lightly. And again, I adore that man. I honor that man. I love that man to this day. And the funny thing is, this last, I don't know, 30, 45-minute conversation we've been having have laid out both points, fam. Right? And it is no, and I really wish we would stop doing the whole, well, either you this or you that, or you not this, or you ain't no man if you don't do it this way. Nah, fam. If it's for you, it's for you. If it ain't for you, cool. Keep it moving. Don't complain, right? Keep it moving. It's what it is. But I just wanted to shout out Pops McNulty, man. That's my guy.
I think the mother still loved that daddy, the real daddy, and wanted him for the last 13 years.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's the issue. That's the person who I got issue with, because I understand that as a child, the same way when you was little. Like I didn't grow up with my dad. I knew my dad, but I didn't grow up. You always want to know you because you want to know where you come from. It's an innate feeling. You know what it is. So you understand about that. Like I said, that's the mother's fault. The mother's supposed to set down the foundation. Like, hey, this is your dad. Yeah, that's your daddy. This is your father. He's paying for this. He raised you. He deserved this honor. Right? I don't care what nobody say. That's where it should have ended.
All right, got a few super chats. Get through these chats and get you guys on.
BZ, I'm gonna call him your mama. Call my mama. You ain't my daddy. Call my mama. You ain't my daddy. Tan said, Sean Wayne, I'm here to pick my son up. Sean really came to the house just to pick his kid up out the stroll and put him down the left. Funny movie. Don't be a menace to society. You stupid. Congo English. Ricky, goddamn, keep talking. I got you, bro. Xavier Jack, Ricky words are powerful. When he speaks, you listen, man. Man, these babies ain't do shit to nobody, bro. That's all I'm saying. Congo English, how many times you sat in your room? Like I said, I don't know how many of y'all didn't have no father, bro. But like I'm saying, like, come on, man. Shannon makes a good point. With that said, Shannon and Ricky are saying the same thing with respect to the wellness of black people. Facts. Fitch TNB, how is Mr. Let Go gonna say who taking care of these babies but not take care of the ones he supposedly was a stepfather to once he broke up with the mama? You left just like the real daddy.
Do you get that point, Rick? She basically saying if you broke up with the girl, you should have kept being the stepdaddy. That's all.
The dad was already in her life, and I know it's a joke, but the dad was already in her life. I was just there because I was with the mama. But when I left,
right, but so don't abandon the kids, though. Don't abandon the kids. It's about this, the community, right? So even though you broke up with the mama, you should have kept being that stepdaddy.
Look, she died from lupus.
Okay, that's even more reason you should be there.
No, she died from lupus. They went to live with him, and to this day, they live with him. So we went back to his house during the graduation. So they still doing good. So no, that's different.
Kaiser Soze, at King Rio, the mother gives full custody to the father. Captain Forbes, I'm late, but still wanted to pay my respects to the kings. Thanks, Cat. Sharon Thomas, Mr. Let Go just proved Shannon's point. It's a bad deal. I'm with Shannon 1,000%. Shelton Ward, Mr. Let Go, that's not the stepfather's lineage. That's not his family's, but he was her father. For a dude who was only there for 6 months is disrespect. Emmanuel Williams, are any of you guys a stepfather? Yes, I am. Congo English, let go. Cole, you stupid, Martin Show. Sherwin Thomas, I'm willing to miss out on that good woman. There are more out there. If I don't get another good woman, then I'll buy a dog and guy along. Good for you. Go do that. Matthias said, this is truly one of the best King Talk episodes thus far. Keep doing your thing, brothers. Much love and respect. Like, why are you talking about it? If you're gonna do it, just do it. Don't tell us you're gonna jump off the building. Just jump, nigga. Like Shelton Ward, I just don't disrespect half-ass daddies that want to come into the equation after I was dedicated to my woman and the child I helped raise after I got them to the league. That man made it about himself. That's facts. BZ, my guy, he said, if I'm playing stepdaddy, nigga, I'm second to Jesus in that house. That issue's beyond pocket. Congo English, just trill. That's all he said, trill. Congo English, 20 bones. Let go. I understand you have your own platform and confident, but Trill will bury you in substance and spiritually rhetoric. Be careful, bro. JR, shut that shit down.
Congo got that money, Ricky.
You got that money.
Yeah, man. This has been a great episode, man. I think there's a lot of value in it, man. Got a lot of topics up, man, with the Russell Wilson. And I was talking about the stepdad. It's a nice flow. Make sure you guys follow these guys on their platform. We got Trill, AC with Crew Season, Ricky Williams Boxing. Mr. Let Go has a channel. Just put it in. Shannon Ross has a channel. King Rio and Chicago Really, you'll find him here on the Lapeef Network. And Humble Dad has great interviews, and he's starting to do panels too on Monday. So make sure you guys tap in, call in. Let's support each other. Let's hold each other down. Let's keep pushing these conversations. Salute to everybody that's out there watching. Also salute to the chat, Green Gang. I see you. Everybody that has donated and contributed to the platform. We definitely appreciate it. One more super chat came through for Fatty. So
What up,
salute to the
Fatty?
panel. Maybe you'll let me up on a day. I'm working on my patience to be in the presence of you gentlemen.
Man,
have a good evening.
Yeah, where
Appreciate
you in
that.
country, JR?
Huh?
You in Honduras or something, man? You in a different location every time I
Yeah.
see you, bro.
Nah, man. I just had to go visit Lee, man. I had to go visit brother Lee, man.
We could fly miles, dog. What's happening? You got like 1 million of them hoes, man.
Nah.
I be passport pimping, man. Ain't no passport, bro. He passport pimping.
Nah, man. I'm just sometimes you just get tired of looking at the same shit, man. So you just change the background up a little bit.
Hey, one time for the chat, man. Hey, stop playing to get these likes up, man. We need like at least 60 more likes, and we straight.
Yeah. Let's get the likes. Hit the like button on your way out. Hit the like button on the way out. All right, John.
I don't care. Either way, it's good.
Yeah, either way. So to you, brothers, thank y'all. Enjoy y'all evening. Thanks again.
Right, have a good one.
We out of here.
Peace, peace,
out.
peace. It's the last track.
That's the last track. Really, that's the last track.
Ain't that dude off? Ain't that dude that play on Power? The King that got killed last week.
That's Al B. Short son.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Who?
That's
the light skinned dude. He was playing on Kanan on Power, the Power series.
Yeah, he the record producer.
Yeah, he got killed a couple weeks ago.
In real life?
No, on the show.
No.
Oh.
Yeah, my girl be watching. Don't be giving me no spoilers, man. She's trying to put me into it. I'm like, I don't know how many more TV series I can watch.
Man. Anyway, man, peace out, y'all. I got an early morning. Y'all take care.
Salute.
All right.
Chat, this the last track.
Yeah, it is.